TalkSport Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
With your headlines. Just coming up to 2 minutes past 10, I'm Nick Ellaby. Good morning. England are 356 runs behind in the must-win third Ashes test. They still need 6 wickets before a near impossible chase to keep the series alive. We asked Aussie journalist Malcolm Conn if fans out there will be put off going to the last 2 tests.
They're playing the Poms and the Poms are getting beaten, so I reckon that tickets will be at a premium. I just think all this nonsense about being competitive, you don't go and watch the Poms when you want to be competitive. You go and watch them to watch the Australians play well and flog them.
There's more on TalkSport's cricket YouTube channel. Ollie Glasner insists the only disappointment from Palace's Conference League draw with Coops is Leeds know his team for tomorrow. Glasner made 11 changes as Palace missed out on automatic qualification. One of 3 games over 6 days for them. Palace go to Leeds in the Premier League. That's live on TalkSport 2 tomorrow night. Now, the first Kenyan to win a match at the PDC World Darts tried to play with the Ali Pali Wasp in his pocket. After beating Mike DeDecker, David Manure says he loves going through tough things. Meanwhile, we're told Littler Humphrey's final everyone's expecting isn't happening. Here's Nathan Aspinall.
I'm going to put a stop to that because I'll play Humphreys in the last 16 when they get there. So I don't think it's going to happen. What the punters reckon.
Nathan might need the Wasp to help him out with that. And Anthony Joshua's weighed in almost 2 stone heavier than Jake Paul ahead of their fight in Miami tonight. Paul's confident of a huge upset.
Probably the 6th or 7th round knockout.
Okay. And that's it. I'm him up, Burial! I'm him up!
Loads more on the fight on TalkSport's Boxing YouTube.
TalkSport News.
The UK's roads and airports are bracing for what could be the busiest Christmas getaway on record, and a Chinese cyber gang appears to have hacked a Foreign Office. More from the news team at past.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. With a huge range of premium brands available, we've got what you need to drive away happy every time. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Sunny spells and scattered showers, those most frequent in the north and west, drier in the south and east, windy, average temperatures.
Hello everyone, good morning. It is Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and the former Villa striker Gabby Agbonlahor, and we're live on TalkSport this morning, as we are every single Friday. So it's suggested that the Chelsea head coach Enzo Moresca is high among the list of candidates that Manchester City are considering in case Pep Guardiola exits the Etihad Stadium next summer. Are they really interested in Enzo Moresca, or is this just timely agent PR? Meanwhile, as he opens up to Rio Ferdinand about his loyalty to Manchester United, will Bruno Fernandez's legacy at Manchester United be tainted in any way by his lack of silverware? And also today, will Villa end their Manchester United hoodoo? Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua is upon us, and as Mikel Arteta reaches 6 years at the club tomorrow, will this be the season that the Gunners make top spot at Christmas really count? Some big transfer news on the way very shortly as well. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor, and we're live on TalkSport. Hello, yes, it's Fun Boy Friday, and I can confirm in the last few moments the paperwork has been sealed on a free transfer from breakfast from Gabby Agbonlahor. He is now a regular part of the team. Deal. This is it, you're here.
I want to thank you two guys for saving me from Alan Brazil on Fridays. Thank you very much.
That's the first time that Alan has waited 6 minutes to go for the debrief.
No, looking forward to it, guys. Always love listening to the show. Big fan of your work, Sam and Alex. Legendary Mr. Crook.
Well, that's nice.
I thought there was a joke coming there. Sorry.
No.
It's nice to see you anyway. Okay, talking of the legendary Mr. Crook, you've had a good week this week, I know. I can still see the sweat pouring from you.
To be fair, it is about 300 degrees
it is.
in this studio.
It is. And we've got some hot-breaking transfer news as well, because Antoine Semenyo could be on the move.
Yeah, this wasn't gleaned at the TalkSport Christmas party, which I can confirm was a good night on Monday. But yeah, I think the Antoine Semenyo situation is going to be a big talking point, certainly for the first half of January. We broke exclusively. He had a release clause in his contract. That does indeed become active in the January transfer window. There is a cut-off point, I think, around about halfway through the month by which clubs need to activate it. We know that Liverpool are keen. There's obviously a link there with Richard Hughes, that the sporting director who signed Semenyo from Bristol City for Bournemouth in the first place. Manchester United are certainly in the race as well. And Tottenham, although I'd make them outsiders at this moment in time. But we can report Manchester City have held talks with Antoine Semenyo, so Pep Guardiola very much part of the pursuit as well.
And it's worth pointing out, isn't it, Gabby, that one of the concerns that Pep Guardiola has had this season is there's not getting enough goals from wide areas. Yes. And Semenyo is one of those who can deliver that.
Yeah, I think you look at his stats last season, Sam, Alex, 11 goals in the Premier League, 7 goals so far this season in the Premier League. That shows he can score goals. After all the speculation about a month ago, the goals dried up.
Yeah.
Until he got one on the weekend against Manchester United. But a top player, can play off the left, can play as number 10, could easily play as a false 9 off the right. Strong, quick, skillful. The goal against Liverpool he scored was one of the best goals you'll see all season. Top player and top attitude as well to football. A great age as well, 25. Not young, probably coming to the prime of his career, mature. Whoever gets him, I've got a top player.
Terrific professional as well, from what I'm told, and a great character, which obviously is going to help as well, making the step up from Bournemouth, sort of mid-ranking Premier League team, to one of the juggernauts.
He needs to be playing Champions League football, though, Sam.
He needs to play Champions League football. He wants to play Champions League football. He wants to make a step up in his career. And TalkSport is the place for you to find out all the latest breaking transfer news. If you go to TalkSport.com, there's a whole section on there about transfers. Crookie regularly does a notebook early in the week, so make sure you check that out. And throughout January, he's going to be particularly busy, I think. And maybe Manchester City might be busy too. I think Crystal Palace might be busy too in the January transfer window, especially if Oliver Glasner has his way. Last night they drew 2-2 with Coops in the Conference League. It was the final league phase game. They needed to win in order to get into the top 8, which would have seen them through to the knockout stages without the need for a playoff. They didn't manage that, and part of it was down to the fact that they changed the team so significantly because of the demanding schedule.
I don't know how well you sleep after a game, but if you want to have nightmares, a look at your February schedule. Could be 9 games in 28 days.
I love it.
Including Carabao Cup semi-final, the
hopefully.
Yeah.
So it's easy to avoid these 2 games. Just losing in 5 days, but that's not our mindset. So again, yes, we want this schedule, and hopefully playing the Carabao final, playing the FA Cup final, playing the Conference League final, and up the Premier League, having 65 games. I don't know how many. Yes, that's what we want.
But 9 games in 28 days, with the injuries you've got, the size squad that you've got, that's a big ask, isn't it?
No.
That was Oliver Glasner last night talking about the schedule. They're currently in a run of 15 games in 49 days. He changed 11 players last night. Did he have any choice, Gabby Agbonlahor, bearing in mind they play Leeds on Saturday night, 48 hours later, and then on Tuesday night have a Carabao Cup quarter-final with Arsenal?
I think you've got to look at the league table. Crystal Palace are in 5th position, 2 points behind Chelsea. He's probably looking at the Leeds game and thinking, we've got a great chance here of keeping this run going in the Premier League, staying in touch with the top 5. So I don't blame him. I know Crookie will probably say that making so many changes, you've now added 2 extra games in playoffs, but you have to use your squad. Yes, there are a lot of young players playing as well, but look at the injuries they've had this season. Sarah's missed a few games. Mateta, at times, has been playing injured as well. So I don't blame him for making the changes. They should have got the job done last night with the team that they played.
I can see that argument. I commentated the game with Darren Ambrose, former Palace player, on TalkSport 2, and he was taken aback by the selection, even though we knew it was coming, because Oliver Glasner's been telling us for a couple of weeks now that he was going to make 11 changes for this game. Darren's argument, and I tend to agree with him, if you're going to have all the big hitters on the bench, they're still going through their warm-ups, they've still got to be at the ground and report for duty. And they still came on. He brought on Tyrick Mitchell, he brought on Mark Gahey, he brought on Will Hughes quite early in the game. Obviously, Mateta has come on when they're looking for the winner at the end. Would he not have been better suited to do it the other way round, play the big hitters in the first half, get a decent lead, as they did in Shelbourne in the previous game, and then not have to worry about this two-legged playoff?
I'm of the opinion that actually I thought he did a brilliant job last night. I thought they did a brilliant job last night. 11 changes, 3 debutants, 4 teenagers, and a performance which I thought was largely positive in basically every area. The only problem they had was right at the beginning of the second half, where they ended up conceding 2 quick goals. And that's a little bit down to naivety, a little bit down to the fact that for a lot of them, it was a rare opportunity to play in the first team. But there were some great finds last night, right? Dean Benamar, who played as the left back last night, was excellent, and he's given Oliver Glasner a different option. Maybe for the FA Cup games going forward, he could possibly use him. So he's expanded his squad. Caden Rodney played the 90 minutes in the middle of the park and was effective. He could be an option for them in an area where they have been light every now and again. Joel Drakes-Thomas, 16 years of age, the youngest ever Englishman to play in the Conference League, played 90 minutes of that match.
He was really good.
Excellent. He put in a couple of brilliant deliveries into the box. He didn't look fazed by playing first-team football. And Uche took his chance really well.
Great goal.
I must admit, I think that last night, it was disappointing for them to not win the game. But ultimately, they found a couple of players there that I think can help them going forward. And Glasner needs the help.
I think as well, you've got to look at the frustration of the manager. You can't blame him. You know, Elise went, Eze went. Yes, they signed Pino, great player, very good signing. But you look at their squad, and you look at the weekend against Manchester City, their bench, and you start to look at it, and you're like, okay, Nketiah,
enough players. He needs activity
exactly. And if you're
in January,
and
no doubt about that.
If you're a Palace fan, Sam, aren't you saying, yeah, I like the way our manager's going about things. Yeah, we won the FA Cup. Yes, we won the Community Shield. Yes, we're in the Conference League playoffs. Yes, we're in the top 5. But he wants more. Totally. Why can't Palace dream? I've seen Unai Emery's quotes last season. We want to dream of winning the Premier League. We want to dream of winning the Champions League. What's the point if, as a club, you can't dream? Why should Crystal Palace have limits of like, okay, yeah, it's been a good little era. Now, we're not going to spend any money. We're not going to improve the squad. We're happy with top 12 finish. As a fan, you want more.
It is the season for fairy tales, Gabs, but let's be realistic. They're 5th at the moment. They've only really got 14 senior players that Oliver Glasner trusts to play week in, week out. They're not going to finish in the top 5.
Well, this is the point.
Their best hope of silverware this season.
Well, why not if they invested in January?
Well, they're not going to
invest in January. If they don't invest in January, that's not on Glasner. That's on
Palace. Don't invest. Palace don't invest. That's why Glasner will probably leave at the end of the season.
I get that, Crookie, but if you're a Palace fan and you're Glasner, you're like, come on, we're ready to go again.
If you're a Palace fan this morning, I think you're waking up, you're thinking, crikey, how good was it to see some of those homegrown youngsters playing our first team and basically adapt to first team football? Wouldn't it be great if we could supplement them with a couple of senior players that can help this team get over the line in other competitions? You could win the Conference League. That's a possibility for Crystal Palace if they had more help. I know Crook makes the point, well, they lost to Larnaca and they didn't meet
They lost to Larnaca, they didn't beat Coops, and they got beaten away from Strasbourg, who obviously topped the table in the end.
Because ultimately they don't have the resources that other clubs who have been in this competition, West Ham and Chelsea, have had. So they need a little bit of help. If you give Glasner the help, I think he'll win it.
Listen, I totally agree. And I get what you're saying, Crookie. It won't happen. They won't finish top 5. But as a fan of that football club, if that was your team, wouldn't you be like, okay, look, we won the FA Cup, we won the Community Shield, we've lost Eze, we've lost Elise. Why can't we invest? Why can't we? We've got a top manager here. Why can't we?
I agree with you on that, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I agree it's not going to happen, but isn't it frustrating?
Yeah, and that's why Glasner is frustrated. Well, of course it should, because they've got a massive opportunity.
Or is Parish being responsibly active with the finances to make sure that the club stays on an even keel and is not prepared to risk the future for a short-term burst?
Well, you probably have to find a happy medium, don't you? I mean, look at what Bill Foley has done down at Bournemouth, obviously languishing below Palace in the table at this moment in time, but they've sold players, as Palace have, but they keep finding new gems, and Palace at the moment aren't really following that model. In terms of the Conference League campaign, it was a bit flat last night, the atmosphere, and if I was a Palace supporter, I'd be a bit underwhelmed.
By what?
By losing at home to Larnaca. They only made 3 changes for that game, by getting beaten away at Strasbourg, and by what happened last night. This is a Coops team who never score an away goal in Europe.
They scored two
last night with the first two shots.
But they were playing against a younger team. There was a 17-year-old at left back and an 18-year-old at centre.
I wouldn't call a playoff place a successful campaign for Palace. They should be in the top 8.
But when you look at where they are in the Premier League, FA Cup.
If you're 5th in the Premier League,
Carabao
you should
Cup.
be in the top 8 in the Conference
So
League.
if you're Crystal Palace, you've won the FA Cup, the Community Shield.
I'm talking about their European campaign.
You're 5th in the.
Don't put words in my mouth.
In the Premier League.
I said I'd be underwhelmed by Europe.
Quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, but
you're not underwhelmed by Europe because their actual aim was to get through to the knockout stages, which they've done.
But they've got 2 extra games now that they could have avoided.
But he's happy to do that because he thinks he's going to get reinforcements in January to negotiate.
And also, maybe if they had rested more players in the Premier League, they wouldn't be where they are.
Exactly.
2 points behind Chelsea.
Actually, it's been a brilliant season. It's been a brilliant 2025, no question about that. But I think we all expected them to sweep all before them in the Conference League, and it hasn't happened.
Salah would be a big miss, by the way.
You always say that any English team, unless they're playing Real Madrid or Barcelona, should be winning games in Europe.
Oh, who said that?
Yeah, it's true.
Your man.
Oh, and Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich, we'll put them in the mix. So
they should be.
Larnaca and Coops
got more
at
money
home.
than anybody else.
You can't be taking 1 point from
I'm
those
not sure
2
about
games.
some.
You can't be taking 1 point from those 2 games.
First teams, not B teams. And
It wasn't a B team against Larnaca. 3 changes he made.
It was a B team last night.
Yeah.
03717 223344 is the number to call. I think Crystal Palace have had a great season, and I think there's largely positives last night. I wouldn't be sitting there moaning about going into a playoff, a Europa Conference League playoff. And Crook's not really moaning about it because the first thing he found out this morning is he's got 2 more commentaries. And that means he can pay the bills for Christmas. 03717 223344 is the WhatsApp number if you want to message us. Morning, gents. We'll strengthen in January. When you're there or thereabouts in Europe and the league, Steve Parish and co will capitalise on this position. 03717 223344. Enzo Moresca has been speaking this morning, and he has been asked about his future and the links with Manchester City. Good morning to you. This is Sam Matterface. I'm alongside the deadly duo of Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. Jamie says, not too bothered about only getting to a playoff. Glasner has done a fantastic job. He needs to be heavily backed. Paris, unfortunately, has never done that. He's always been extremely tight, and for all the good he's done, he's held us back, especially in the last 18 months. We did win the FA Cup not so long ago in the Community Shield. We're going to lose our best ever manager because of him. Maybe time for a change at the top if we want to have any chance of progressing as a club. I'll tell you what, it is interesting to see some of those text messages coming in, because I think he's an amazing negotiator, Steve Parish, because he owns less than 10% of the club and he's got all of the control. I mean, that is amazing. Crookie just wants Glasner at Manchester United. That's why he's digging him out. You've deleted the one that called him the Saltmeister. Why did you do that? And there's another one I was going to read, but it's disappeared. Crystal Palace. Why would anyone be sorry for this well-paid professional managers and players having to play football matches? Just get on with it and stop complaining. It's not hard work. Try living in the real world.
Do you know the question? I know you've got some Palace fans waiting to call and have their say. The question I would ask you, and you've just said you think that when we're in the outbreak, you think they'll lose at Leeds on TalkSport 2 on Saturday night. If they do lose at Leeds, will he live to regret the decision not to play a stronger team in a game they should have won against Coops and therefore would have got straight through to the round of 16?
Say that again.
If they lose at the weekend, his decision has backfired, isn't it?
No. If they lose at the weekend, I bet you the focus will be on Crystal Palace going into that quarter-final of the Carabao Cup on Tuesday night. I think he wants to get to the Carabao Cup semi-finals, and I think his focus actually is on that match, not necessarily
So you think he might even rest a few at Leeds?
I'm not saying he'll rest a few at Leeds. I think he'll change the team for those two games. But I do think that he wants to be able to challenge for both those two matches, which is why he rested all the players last night.
It's an opportunity, isn't it, the League Cup? Because you would think Arsenal will rest players. If they play a similar teams they did against Brighton, then you give Palace a chance. And obviously they've avoided City in the semi-final as well. So they are...
I still think
an easier semi.
I still think as well the Leeds game, they're still wanting to go and win that and keep themselves in fifth position.
Absolutely, and they've got a good chance of doing it. I don't know whether they'll manage it. I think they've done very, very well away from home. But that run away from home, I think, is 4 straight wins, which is probably almost the club record. If they extend that, you know, that is amazing. But that's not going to hold forever with the schedule that they've got. No. But they're doing a very good job. As James, who is a Crystal Palace fan in Birmingham, will tell us. Hello, mate.
Morning, boys. Pleasure to be on.
Good, thank you. What do you want to say?
First of all, Cookie, hands off. I've never been a United fan. Glasner is the blueprint, I think, of what Amorim is trying to, improvise at United. I think Glasner just does it in a much more attractive manner. I'd speak for behalf of myself. I'd like to think a lot of Palace fans would agree. We are riding the crest of the wave, for a period of the club that we've never been in. I think there's almost a lot of learning on the job from both staff, players, managers. We simply just don't have the depth, do we? If you look at, for instance, Man City the other night in the Carabao, they made, I think it was 8-9 changes. We do not have that luxury. And I think that last night could go one of a multitude of ways. It almost is a middle finger up to the board saying, I will do what I can. This is what you've given me. I will try my best. It might be fatigue, lactic acid, tire is starting to build up. And the players are just saying, look, Gaffer, we are shattered. We can't fight on 4 fronts and give you 100% every day. And it could be I need investment in January. So I think it could be taken from the fans, from the club, from the media, a multitude of ways, or simply a cry for help from Oliver Glasner saying, look, if you're not going to back me, there's plenty of clubs out there that will give me the funding that I need to kind of take other clubs in the right direction.
I thought it was really interesting that he spoke to Will Hughes, who he said remembers a time when Premier League games over Christmas did happen twice in 48 hours. You'll remember that, Gabby. Yes. And he said he took a soundings off Will Hughes and said, look, how does it feel? What does it do to you? How does it affect your game? Will Hughes told him, and he decided as a result of that he would make the changes that he did last night. I thought that was just really sensible management. The other thing, I don't know what you feel about this, James. You watched it last night. Well, obviously, Crook and I were both there. I was commentating last night, so was Crook. But I thought it was really positive to see those young players come and play for Crystal Palace in the first team, and one or two of them really handled themselves in such a manner that you thought, well, actually, we could use you.
Yeah, absolutely. Credit to the young boys who did come on. For some of them, it is a first start. I think someone alluded to it earlier that we had an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old starting at the back. That is big boots to fill when you look at the players they're looking up to, being, your Maxence Lacroix, Mark Gay, international, Tyrick Mitchell. So they're trying to fight, jostle and fight for position. And it is a great way of saying, look at our academy and what we can, what we can put forward. Over the years, we've produced some top talent. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Wilfried Zaha, Young players coming up. Obviously, we've just got hold of Adam Wharton. So I think it does go to show there is a pathway into the first team. But I just think it then also, on double-edged sword, it really does bring home that we don't have, the likes of Arsenal, likes of City, who have, let's say a second-string team. We do have a first team, which is a baseline, and then we kind of call on the nippers to come through and fill the boots. So that just scares me a little bit.
Just on a separate point, James, how concerned are you about the future? Because the noises coming out of Palace are that there's every chance Oliver Glasner doesn't extend his contract. We know that Mark Gay is going to leave in the summer. He's got his pick of clubs, not just at the top of the Premier League, but in Europe as well. Mateta, there's been rumblings that he's not happy with the new contract he's been offered, and he might end up going to foreign shores as well. We know there's big interest in Adam Wharton. How concerned are you this could all unravel for Palace quite quickly? Because you're right, you are riding the crest of a wave. It's been a brilliant 2025. Your FA Cup final victory was a real win for the underdogs, and I think a win for football. But there's a lot of unanswered questions at this moment in time.
Do you know what, boys? Let me paint you a very clear picture. I know you've got other callers. The day that we won the FA Cup, I sat at Covent Garden waiting for a ticket from 9 o'clock in the morning. Very passionate fan. And I bumped into two people who actually Austrians who grew up with Oliver Glasner, funnily enough. And we got chatting. And they said to me, he loves this club. He loves the passion. He loves the fans. He loves the culture. I think his family live over here now. His daughter goes to university in London. And he said that Crystal Palace, he bleeds red and blue. But the problem is, and you boys know, that leadership, that loyalty can only go so far. When the powers above aren't going to drive in the same direction you are, and if he's knocking on the door asking for help, he's asking for favours, he's asking for financial contributions, the next logical conclusion is bigger, more attractive clubs will come in. It's going to be hard to stay away. That he's naturally going to want to challenge himself. Sorry, boys, take care.
James, thank you very much. Brilliant call. Really enjoyed that. We wanted to get to Michael as well, but we've run out of time. We'll try and come back to that in just a second. Thank you very much for all your text messages on that. It was really good debate, actually, about Crystal Palace and their future. Quickly, go on, what do you want to say?
Yeah, it's a quick shout out to my lad Oscar. He's off school sick today. He's not been very well. He's watching us on YouTube, so he wants to mention. There you go.
There you go.
Have a good day, Oscar.
This is TalkSport. It's not going to make him feel much better watching us, is it? Let's be honest. Crikey. How to make someone even more sick. 03717223344. That's the number to call. We'd like to hear from you. We are going to talk Moresca very shortly on TalkSport with Sam Matterface, Gabby Agbonlahor and the Saltmeister. We're here through till 1 o'clock with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deal at selcobw.com.
TalkSport is full of money, and when it comes to exhibition matches, it is the cash involved that gets them off the ground. But that's what makes it even more annoying if the event falls flat. When Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul, 65 million people streamed it on Netflix, but many people complained of buffering and freezing, and the fight itself wasn't that great either. So fans got shortchanged, while Tyson and Paul took home around $60 million between them. Another one with a huge prize pot was Tiger versus Phil in 2018. That had £9 million. But again, the pay-per-view had streaming issues. Miking up the players was an anticlimax too, and the golf itself was bang average. When Ronaldo went to Saudi, we all knew money was the driving force, given his salary of £177 million a year. But then they thought, let's get Messi over for a game. So we had PSG versus the Riyadh All-Stars. Both the GOATs were past their best, but PSG still lined their pockets, charging fans a few pounds to watch it on their official channels. Although it wasn't quite as bad as the 75 quid pay-per-view where Mayweather fought McGregor. I feel like what we really need is constantly high-quality action delivered to you for free. And that, my friends, is called TalkSport.
Morning to you. It's Matterface alongside Alex Crook, and Gabby Agbonlahor is here as well. Settled in all right? You okay?
Yes. Comfy.
He wasn't here, was he, last time you came in with me?
No, he was on a jolly up, weren't he, in the United States of America? Is that right?
Covering the World Cup draw.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Serious job, that
Sorry, mate. Someone told me jolly up. Sightseeing it was, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, just getting a bit of flavour for what might happen next summer.
I asked him to send me a picture of the landmarks, and he sent me a picture of a yellow school bus.
And a whiskey bar.
That is a true story.
Brilliant.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is TalkSport. Let's go to the press conferences for this morning and have a quick listen to what Enzo Moresca has been saying. Amongst other things, he was asked about the links with the Manchester City jobs, but he says there's nothing in it.
No, it doesn't affect me at all, because I know that it's 100% speculation. And in this moment, there is no time for these kind of things. First of all, because I have a contract here until 2029, probably. And my focus, I said many times, that is just about this club, and I'm very proud to be here. But again, it's speculation. 1 week ago, was in Italy, the same with Juventus. So I don't pay attention, because I know that it's not true.
Okay, it was fascinating because basically the timeline of events is this. On Friday, he went into his press conference previewing the game against Everton. Everything seemed to be quite level-headed. By Saturday, Chelsea had won against Everton, and he'd come out and said he'd had the worst 48 hours that he'd had at the club and didn't feel like he had the support. The inference was that he wasn't happy that the board hadn't backed him through a time of trouble. Within a couple of days, he's being linked with the job at Manchester City. And interestingly, I mean, he has either recently or not in the too distant past changed agents. Is that true?
Yeah, he's now part of the George Mendes stable. And of course, George Mendes' first client, I think I'm right in saying, was Hugo Viana, now the sporting director of Manchester City.
Was it? I thought it was Nuno Espirito Santo.
I think it was Viana as a player back in the day.
Interesting. Yeah. But it's interesting that these links have come up now when there's a little bit of speculation about tension between him and the Chelsea board.
Yeah, but we know how links get out there, don't we? I mean, Crook, knows better than anyone when you hear about this player's linked with this club, and then so you might speak to one of the player's friends and they're saying, no, that's not true. I don't see it happening. I think he's got a lot to prove still at Chelsea. Won the Conference League with his B team. Yes, won the Club World Cup without a Barcelona team, without the champion Liverpool in it. So I'm not sure about that competition, to be honest. Finished 15 points behind the leaders Liverpool last season. 8 points now, I think it is, behind Arsenal. I just think the money is spent, 545 million as well, in 3 transfer windows. This Chelsea side is underachieving for me.
Interesting, because I suppose there are 2 questions here, aren't there, Crook? Is he qualified to be considered to be a replacement for Pep Guardiola? Or is this just spin from an agent that is trying to distract from a situation which has maybe bubbled up under the surface when it shouldn't have done at Chelsea?
Or is it bubbling up under the surface at Chelsea because he thinks he's got a chance of getting the Manchester City job and he almost needs to justify his own CV by, pointing out the flaws of the model of the club? I think actually the bigger question here is what we're missing. This is not necessarily a story about Enzo Moresca. I think the story is Pep Guardiola. I've had a message this morning from someone well connected with Manchester City saying that Guardiola's future is far from certain. And I think if he wins something big this year, the Premier League or the Champions League, I could see a scenario where he walks away, because there aren't many managers, certainly in recent times, who've been able to go out on their own terms on the back of success. So Alex Ferguson did it after winning that title. I think he'd probably gone a year earlier had it not been for the Aguero moment against QPR. But you look at Arsene Wenger, outstayed his welcome at Arsenal. I'll go back to Brian Clough, brilliant Nottingham Forest manager, gave them the time of their lives, but he left the club on the back of relegation from the Premier League. So there is a time, I think, when a manager thinks, you know what, I've possibly taken this club as far as I can.
Can you see that? I mean, we obviously talk about it from our perspective. Last year, we thought he was going to leave, yes, and I think he was planning to. And if you got through to this time last year, it was only then that he decided he was going to stay
because they were miles away from winning the title.
He couldn't leave it in that situation, so he wanted to try and rebuild and go for it again. Can you see a scenario developing where he leaves in the summer?
Yes, I agree, Crookie. I look at him sometimes when you watch the games and he looks tired. When a manager, you can just tell he's tired. He's done years of coaching, of management. He's been through it all with Barcelona, with Bayern Munich, with Manchester City, the ups and downs. I just look at him. I think Manchester City do win the league this season. I do think that they're used to chasing Arsenal down and they'll do it again. And what a way to leave. Another league title. But I don't think Moresca's the right man.
This is the point, right? Okay, so we can speculate about Pep Guardiola, and there's a lot of discussion about that.
I had another question for you about that very quickly, because we know the FA did reach out to him before they hired Thomas Tuchel. If England don't win the World Cup or don't get close to winning the World Cup and Thomas Tuchel leaves and Pep's available, we're all assuming the next England manager is going to be English. I think we're all assuming it's probably going to be Eddie Howe. But if Pep is available, do the FA ask the question again?
Well, there was tentative discussions. There was definitely discussions beforehand, and I think Pep has already alluded to that. So there's obviously a relationship that's already there. It would be great if he did end up taking it, especially for a home Euros in 2028. That would be terrific. But I think that we could speculate all day about Pep Guardiola and what he's going to do. We've been through that road before and it didn't happen. So let's park that for a second and just talk about Enzo Moresca and his position at Chelsea, because is he talking himself out of a job?
I think he needs to keep winning, because if you're coming out and having a pop at the board, and obviously he's not confirmed that his comments were directed at the hierarchy, but we believe they were. And
who else were they directed at?
Berdad Egbali in particular. If you start losing games, then your credit, I think, very quickly runs out. Chelsea's modus operandi has always been they'll assess their manager at the end of the season. They did it with Pochettino. If you remember, they briefed us when Chelsea was struggling for results early season. That's what they would do with Moresca. I do think he's piled pressure on himself.
But when you look at Chelsea, the project, and I'm tired of hearing ex-Chelsea players, Chelsea fans saying, listen, another couple of years, when are we going to start to say, okay, Chelsea need to go on a title charge? I know he's been in the job 18 months, Moresca.
3 semi-finals,
spending 500.
Trophies?
Yeah, so semi-finals, what does that mean?
3 semi-finals, 2 trophies.
Yeah, 2 trophies. What are the trophies?
The World Cup.
Okay.
and the Conference League.
Which was hand-picked teams to play in it. No Barcelona, no Liverpool.
You have to win the Champions League to qualify in Europe.
What do you mean?
Well, you qualify for the Club World Cup by winning the Champions League or being the highest ranked team in your country.
Oh, okay. But Liverpool won the Premier League and didn't play in it.
Well, because that was that year. It was the 4 previous years, and they already had 2 teams that had won the Champions League. Manchester City had won the Champions League, and Chelsea won the Champions League.
So you took that competition
or you could just sign Lionel Messi and then you get an entry via the back door. Come on. Listen, let's not give FIFA and Infantino any credit.
We're not giving it FIFA and we're giving Chelsea credit for winning the competition.
They won the Conference League with their B team. I'm sure Cole Palmer didn't even get registered to play in it to the latter stages.
Correct. Won the
Club World Cup. Like, come on.
You don't think he's doing a good job then?
I think he's doing an okay job. I just look at spending £550 million in free transfer windows in 18 months. Chelsea.
Everyone spends that money.
Yeah, not everyone.
Everyone spends a lot of money nowadays.
Not everyone.
A lot of those kids.
Aston Villa don't, and they're above Chelsea.
They spent £30 million in the summer, Aston Villa, and they're above Chelsea.
More established
Is he a Chelsea fan? Is he a Chelsea fan?
Yeah.
Oh, it's making sense. Do your research, Gabby.
You're a Villa fan.
Makes sense.
If Everton had won at Stamford Bridge, they had chances, by the way. Both Chelsea goals came at a time when Everton were on top in the game. They'd have been above Chelsea in the table.
I think Newcastle beat Chelsea the weekend.
So do I.
If Palace beat Leeds, Palace go above Chelsea. So you think he's doing a fantastic job or an okay job?
I never said anything. I'm asking you the question.
I'll just look at...
if you listen to the Premier League All Access podcast, you know my views on Enzo Moresca. My view is this, and I'll make it clear.
Yeah.
I think he is the embodiment of the team. The team is a young, developing team. Do I agree with the entirety of the project? No. I would rather that Chelsea signed some experienced players that would supplement those very talented youngsters so that they could push on and achieve the things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think they need to do that. I know, because they've set it out quite clearly, they are not going to do that. The manager himself has made some mistakes. You mentioned the Conference League and what they did there. In the final, he picked the wrong team. He had to change it at half-time, and Cole Palmer got them out of a hole, and he won it almost single-handedly. He is developing. He's had 1 full season as a frontline manager before he was the Chelsea boss. It's a major step up to become the Chelsea boss. So a bit like the team, he is learning on the job and he is going to make mistakes.
So when can we start to say Chelsea need to win the Premier League? Tell me when. Another couple of years, 3 years, 4 years? It's a project. Just keep spending and selling. And
I don't think Chelsea are going to win the Premier League under this current model of operating. They can't.
But Chelsea fans are okay with that, though? They're
no, I don't think they are. I think, as I've just told you, most of the Chelsea fans want them to add experienced players to the squad so that they can go on and achieve that.
Some of the players he signed, Crookie, Dewsbury Hall, he's obviously left. Neto, Tosin, Estavo, Jab Pedro, Gittins, Garnacho, Hatso, Dilap, Felix, who's left as well.
Yeah, but it's bad. Some of that is bad recruitment.
Of course. What I'm saying, the amount of money that they're spending, $545 million.
Yeah. And how much have they brought in, and how much will they bring in once they sell some of those players? Because their job, as they see it, is to buy players at a certain price and then sell them for an inflated price once they've played for
Chelsea.
As a fan,
you want to be like, okay,
I've agreed with you.
The John Terry, Lampard era.
Absolutely.
You want to win Champions League, Premier Leagues.
And what you don't want is your homegrown players being sold, and that's what happened. That's what's happened to Chelsea as well. So I can understand there's frustration there, but I think the fans actually quite like Moresca because Moresca is now standing up to the board.
I agree.
And turning around and saying, actually, I need a little bit of help.
Yeah, I think actually he's won over the Chelsea supporters. Whether that keeps him in a job long term with these comments, I'm not as convinced.
03717 2233 44. Chelsea fans, if you want to have your say on that, we'd love to hear from you. You can text us or you can WhatsApp us. 03717 2233 44. 81089 is the text number. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and the Gab Father. We're here right the way through till 1 o'clock with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com. Yes, hello, this is TalkSport. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and the former Aston Villa and England forward, Gabby Agbonlahor, who has joined the team for Fanboy Friday. Let's get to Jason, who's a Chelsea fan. Hello.
Hello, gentlemen. Good morning. How are we?
Good morning.
Good, thank you, Jason. Chelsea, 6 points worse off than last season. Their win against Everton was their first in 4 Premier League games. Tell me what you think about Enzo Moresca.
Yeah, you're rattling my cage this morning, gentlemen, with this one. Right, first of all, Sam, I've heard you speak about Enzo Moresca before, and I'm going to have to back you up in the Gabby argument you've got this morning. I understand his situation at the club. I personally don't agree with the way the board are running things. I concur entirely with what you're saying about we should have some more experienced players. My theory in general on Moresca is he is a reflection of the team. You pretty much touched on it. The team are full of youngsters learning their trades. Some are really good players, some are not very good players. And the manager's inconsistency in his decisions and the way that he approaches things is the same reflection upon the players. They are as inconsistent as the manager is. I personally was never really happy at his appointment at the club. I wasn't interested in that at all. But he's at the club, and I back my manager and I back my club to do well. With regards to what Gabby said about the club championship and the Conference League, I kind of agree with him. The Conference League, we should have won it. We nearly threw it away, but we did win it. But we should have won it. I know you've got to be in a competition to win it, but we should have won it. The World Club Championship, as it was called, right? Yes, there were teams missing, but at the end of the day, the clubs were chosen in the way that they were chosen by FIFA. I've got various opinions on FIFA, but that's going to be another conversation. And so you can only beat the teams who are in front of you in that competition, and whoever's missing were missing. We beat them. Gabby raised the point about Barcelona. Well, we saw what happened to Barcelona the other week. So PSG were knackered, yes, but we turned them over properly.
Gabby's looking a little bit confused about what you've just said there, Jason. What he means is that Barcelona came to Chelsea and they thrashed them 3-0.
Yeah, but
That's the one.
What would the score be if you played Barcelona away?
Sorry?
What would be the score if you played Barcelona away?
What it would have been in America anyway. So
no, I'm just saying. You're saying that you've just beaten Barcelona at home, but
we'll see, won't we?
Exactly.
We'll see. But what I'm trying to say, Gabby, at the end of the day, you know this. You've been a pro in the game. I've played very good levels myself. You can only beat the teams that turn up on the park in front of you on the day.
100%, mate.
Jason, some good points there, and I think particularly what I wanted to reiterate is that Chelsea were in the Conference League. They were expected to win it, but they did win it. They went to the Club World Cup. They were in it, but they did win it. You know, and you can argue about how they got into it. Well, they got into it because they won the Champions League in 2021.
Do you think everyone took that serious? The teams that were there.
Well, PSG took it seriously.
Shattered after a long season.
Manchester City took it seriously.
You think the players weren't shattered?
Manchester City lose to a team from Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, they did.
Not sure that's taking it seriously.
I think. Well, you're telling me they didn't take it seriously. They didn't buy players and put them straight into the squad for the tournament.
Yeah, but I think that was all part of their planning for this season. I think they used it almost as a mini pre-season.
Did João Pedro go straight into the...
Okay. And you keep saying that Chelsea should have won the Conference League. I think every English team that goes into the Conference League are favourites. Is that true?
Well, unless you can't beat Larnaca and Coops at home. Yeah.
Okay. Did Villa win the Conference League when they were in it?
No, they were concentrating on getting top 4, which they got.
Just thought it was worth discussing that point.
They were resting players for the Premier League.
Oh, were they?
Paid off. Yeah. They qualified for the Champions League.
Declan is a Chelsea fan. Hello.
Hello, Declan.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. What do you want to say, fella?
I think the problem Moresca has, guys, is he hasn't signed the players. The players have been signed by the sporting directors. And we can go into the way Chelsea has been run. And what the gentleman before me said is he's just hit a nail on the head. He hasn't signed the players. We saw what Moresca could do in the 2 games against Barcelona and the home game on the Sunday when we went down to 10 men. The Arsenal game, and then we saw the other side of it on the Wednesday night when we went to Leeds, and I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah, the inconsistency, and that's a little bit like what we were saying in terms of him developing and the team developing, Gabby.
Of course, but I get it, they need experienced players, but would you say Reece James is an experienced player?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many more do you think you need, Chelsea?
Well, the problem with Reece has been that he hasn't played as often as you'd like him to. He has this season. They've managed him really well, I think. But I think they need an experienced central defender, top quality central defender.
100%.
They probably need someone in the dressing room who can go around and rattle a few cages when things aren't going well and help them keep their heads.
Thiago Silva is available.
Silva was fantastic for Chelsea, and that made a massive difference to them. He is available, but again, I don't think that's going to happen because that's not the way the club operate, and that's why they find themselves in this situation. But I think Moresca has developed a little bit. If you look at the Manchester United game when Robert Sanchez was sent off, the substitutions were crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Set them back. It was a problem. But then they lost the man at Arsenal, and the substitutions helped them. And the way he shaped the team up straight after that, the way he moved things around, worked and helped. So that's him developing in his
what happened
career
at Leeds?
as well. That was, I think, it was a poor team selection, and I think that they weren't ready for the brimstone and fire that you get when you go to
physical game.
Ellen Road, especially when you're Chelsea, because Chelsea and Leeds have got history, and I don't think that they were ready for that.
The thing for me, Sam, I know you're a Chelsea fan, but I just look at Chelsea, and I remember playing against top Chelsea teams and going to Stamford Bridge and losing 5 or 6. That Chelsea...
It's a different Chelsea.
I know, mate, but as a fan, you're surely thinking, we need to be fighting for the Premier League, the Champions League.
Yeah. Of course, that's what you want. DNA, but you want that as well, right? You're a Villa fan. When you were growing up, they won the European Cup.
No, I wasn't born.
Really?
Yeah. I've had a tough paper.
Hypocrisy from Gabby. If Villa won the Club World Cup, we wouldn't hear the end of it. To say Villa are above Chelsea is crazy. Couple of games changes everything. It's still only 15, 16 games into the season. We'll talk about their next game because it's against Manchester United on Sunday. Crookie can't wait to get to Villa Park. We'll discuss that next.
TalkSport Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range. Scoring a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
With your headlines at 11:01, I'm Nick Ellaby. Good morning. Chelsea's Enzo Moresca insists speculation linking him to Man City is 100% speculation.
I have a contract here until 2029, probably. And my focus, I said many times, that is just about this club, and I'm very proud to be here.
Lavia and Colwell still out for Chelsea. Delap and Asugo should be back for the Villa game. Chelsea go to Newcastle tomorrow lunchtime, live on TalkSport. Meanwhile, we understand Man City have held talks with Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo. Liverpool, Man United and Tottenham also actively pursuing the Ghana international. Tino Livramento won't be back for Newcastle till the new year. Arne Slot says Liverpool have moved on from the Salah situation. He says it's fair to Egypt, Salah's focus is AFCON, and fair to Liverpool, they can focus on Spurs tomorrow. To the Ashes, where England are facing a near impossible run chase to save the series, and Darren Gough has torn the Bazballers a new one for a lack of preparation.
They didn't have nets actually at Perth. They played at Lilac-Hill. We talked about this in the build-up. The way they've gone about their interviews has been wrong, criticising older players like Beefy and Gucci. It's not a great start to a series.
Loads more on the TalkSport Cricket YouTube channel. The Ali Pali Wasp is becoming a real good luck charm. David Manua tried to play with it in his pocket. He said he doesn't know how it escaped as the Kenyan stunned Mike De Decker. This afternoon's session starts at 12:30 on TalkSport 2. And Anthony Joshua's weighed in almost 2 stone heavier than Jake Paul ahead of their fight in Miami tonight. AJ's given his prediction.
I just outclassed this kid, that's all it is. I'm just going to outclass him. I'm a serious fighter. That's just the difference. I'm a serious fighter. You're going to get up.
There's more from our team out there on TalkSport's Boxing YouTube.
TalkSport News.
Chinese hackers are said to have accessed thousands of confidential documents at the Foreign Office, and this year's Christmas getaway is predicted to be the busiest ever. More from the news team at past.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. Rain or shine, our mobile tyre fitting service comes to you, so you can stay on the sofa this winter. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Sunny spells and scattered showers. Those showers most frequent in the north and west, drier in the south and east. Windy, average temperatures.
What a weekend of live football we've got for you on TalkSport. And tomorrow we've got 3 Premier League games for you, starting with Newcastle against Chelsea. It's a 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. And then we've got 2 live games, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Now, these games have been moved from Sunday because of Crystal Palace and Arsenal playing on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup. So they were supposed to be 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. But Arsenal's trip to Everton is live on TalkSport at 8 o'clock tomorrow, so don't miss that. And Leeds against Crystal Palace is on TalkSport 2. That's also 8 o'clock tomorrow. So a choice of listening tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Make sure you've got the TalkSport app and you can listen to both. Sunday afternoon, for a rare Sunday afternoon, I'll be in the studio here with Perry Groves, and Crookie will be at Villa against Manchester United. And the question is, will Villa end their Manchester United hoodoo? Well, they seem to have brushed everybody else aside. Gabby, are you confident they can do so against Manchester United?
If Manchester United had full squad of players, I would be a bit more nervous because our record is atrocious. Which I know Alex Crook is dying to tell everyone about Aston Villa's record against Manchester United. But I look at Diallo going to African nations. I feel that's going to be a big loss at that right wing-back position. And Bumo as well, who's been in great form this season. Aston Villa are looking like a very strong team at the moment. Home record is outstanding. And that midfield battle of Kamara, Onana, Tielemans against Bruno Fernandez, Casemiro, and maybe Mason Mount will be what dictates who wins the game for me.
Greg, what is this terrible record that Aston Villa
what is it?
Well, I think I'm right in saying that before Unai Emery came to the club and you beat United in his first home game in charge, the previous victory over United at Villa Park was that famous first day of the 1995-96 season when Alan Hansen came out and said you couldn't win anything with kids, and United, of course, went on to win the double and prove him wrong. And I think I'm also right in saying that in the Premier League era, so you're talking, 33 years? 5 Aston Villa victories against Manchester United. You scored the winner in one of them.
Did I? I forgot that.
Allegedly.
When was that?
He's absolutely right, by the way. 5 Premier League games in the Premier League era against Manchester United, just 3 on their own turf, and more significantly, only 1 of their last 26 games against Manchester United, but they have won their last 9 in all competitions. They are in rare form in terms of results, but are they playing at the top level?
Now there's the real question.
Are they what, sorry?
Are they playing at their top level?
Who, Aston Villa?
Yeah.
Or are they squeezing past teams?
Listen, they seem to enjoy going a goal down, which needs to stop.
Their comeback record is amazing.
Yeah, but that won't continue, will it? You know, sometimes you're going to play teams where you concede early and they make it difficult for you. Morgan Rogers, I feel if he can continue his form, I think he's been outstanding so far this season, last season as well. Ollie Watkins, if he can get a bit more sharper and start helping the team more with his goals. Can they keep Kamara fit? Can they keep Konsa fit? I mean, Martinez missed the last game. Can he get back into the side? But I'll just look at both squads available for this game. And I know they're our bogey team, but I'll just look at an Aston Villa win. I don't see a comfortable win. I see a 2-1. I do look at Mason Mount being in great form. Bruno Fernandez is always a threat. Can Shesko get up to speed? I think he's been quite poor. But I just look at Aston Villa and I look at a better team than Manchester United at the moment.
Okay, but let's go back to the way that they're playing and look at their efforts from long range, which are getting them out of a hole every now and again. They've scored more goals from outside the penalty area than any other team in the Premier League this season. It seems to be a trait of theirs. They keep conceding goals, and quite a lot of them actually, especially in the last few matches, and they have to keep relying on comebacks. They've come back to win 15 points from losing positions already this season. Are you of the view that means that Aston Villa aren't at their top level and aren't playing as well as they can, and things can only get better, therefore they can sustain a title challenge, or of the view that cannot hold and eventually there's going to be a blip?
I think the manager spoke about, he wants to score more goals in the 6-yard box. That happened against Brighton. Was it 3 goals they scored in a penalty area? Ollie Watkins getting back to scoring, but what's the problem for me? Why scoring long-range shots? Isn't that what we want to see in the Premier League?
It's not a problem. The question is, can it hold?
I think it can. I just think as long as Aston Villa can keep key players fit, Morgan Rogers, some of the football that I'm seeing from him, forget about his goals and assists, he's playing like he fears nobody. He's playing like he knows he's going to be the man that's starting at number 10 position for England at the World Cup. He's just playing free. He's trying things. He's taking shots from distance. Everything's working at the moment. Kamara, can you keep fit? Tielemans, can you keep fit? Onana, McGinn. Can we get Tyrone Mings back, who's been injured for a month? Can we keep Torres fit? Martinez, Cash? Because Aston Villa's squad isn't as big as a lot of the top teams in the Premier League. They still need investment, which I'm hearing isn't going to happen in January. There isn't no money to spend because of the PSR rules. So it's important to keep the top players that are playing well fit.
Well, it seems strange that they don't use Harvey Elliott in that regard then, doesn't it?
Very odd, mate. The reason must be if he plays a certain amount of games, then they have to make it permanent.
Well, that is definitely the case.
Yeah, that's the
but
problem.
Why would they not want to do that, Crook?
I don't know if this goes back to Monchi and whether he was more of a Monchi signing than he was Unai Emery one, because, of course, he left as sporting director quite soon after the window closed, and maybe Harvey Elliott is just a victim of circumstances, but you've got to assume that he's not doing enough in training or when he has played to convince Unai Emery that they want to sign him long term.
He had a terrific summer.
He did, and we all thought this was a great move for Villa, great move for the player, but it hasn't worked out that way at all. I've seen some suggestions that Liverpool might have him back in January. I'm not sure that is the case, so I think he might well be in limbo for the rest of the season.
What's happened as well? Buendia has come back. Didn't work at Leverkusen on his loan last season. He has really put top performances on this season.
Well, he's influenced games, hasn't he?
Exactly, and same position as Harvey Elliott. So Buendia, starting to be the Buendia that we signed from Norwich, has been outstanding so far this season. And then Harvey Elliott misses out. And with all the problems with PSR, the managers are very clever. It's probably thinking, I can't let this be a permanent if I don't fancy him. Even if I'm short on players, I'd rather bring in a younger lad and have the 30, 40 million, whatever it is Harvey Elliott will cost if you sign him a permanent, to bring in a different player that he actually rates.
Good quality players are very hard to find at a cheap price, and certainly Bruno Fernandez goes into the category of one of Manchester United's better signings over the course of the last few years. He's got 3 goals in his last 2 Premier League games. He's most assists for Manchester United. He's created more chances than anybody else in the Premier League this season, both from dead balls and from open play. But he's been speaking about his future and will his legacy be tainted at Manchester United if he doesn't pick up more silverware? Has he got the credit in the bank to speak freely without worrying about the consequences from the United fans? Because he's been speaking to Rio Ferdinand this week about the possibility that occurred not so long ago where he could have gone on and moved away from the club.
When I came to the club, a part of loving being here and loving the club, I think my loyalty was like in the toughest periods I had the club, and I could have left in 2 times. The club said, no, we need you. And I said, okay, you gave me something, I will give you something. Obviously, I think the time at the club has not been as I wanted, because obviously I wanted to lift trophies and I haven't lifted as many as I should and I could. I think when we struggled the most, I said present to the club, and I think everyone at the club, I hope, is aware of that, because the chances I had were very good. I don't do and I don't think in anything else more than football apart my family. That's my number one thing and nothing different. So I'm very aware that I could have done a different path. I could have gone in a different way and probably winning more trophies and people talking about me in a different way because I've had trophies into my cabinet.
That was Bruno Fernandez talking to Rio Ferdinand. Do you have any issue as a Manchester United fan with anything that he's had to say?
No, I don't actually. I wonder how it will go down with players that maybe he is perceiving to not put in the same effort that he does. Maybe players that are still within that dressing room. But listen, I said this to you on the All Access podcast yesterday. Bruno Fernandez, hands down, has been the best signing of the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era. I don't think he gets the love that he deserves, probably not even from the Manchester United fans. When you look at his numbers in terms of goals and assists and chances created, yes, he gives the ball away, but that's because he's always trying to make something happen and always trying to put United on the front foot. Whether you think he's the right captain or not, I think is an entirely separate debate. But in terms of what he brings to the team, he has been and continues to be, as we saw with that free kick the other night, the most important player. What he hasn't been able to do is probably put enough trophies in the cabinet to back up the talent that he has. Therefore, if he was to leave at the end of the season, I do wonder if these interviews that he's doing is sort of paving the way for a summer departure. If he does join a European heavyweight at Bayern Munich, for example, and goes on to win Bundesligas and challenges for Champions Leagues, I don't think United fans can begrudge him. If he went to Saudi Arabia, as he nearly did last summer, I think that would be a different debate. I would be disappointed by it.
But he has suggested that's because the club wanted to cash in.
Listen, he was certainly inviting the offers that were coming his way as well. It's not one-sided. I think it was Mrs. Fernandez actually who pulled the plug on the move in the end, as tends to happen in these cases. But he is right. Ruben Amorim wanted to keep him. The board, I think if he'd said, look, I've agreed a deal, I'd like to go, I think they'd have taken the money. And I understand why he feels a little bit sore by that.
He's often criticised for moaning too much, but he's had his say on that.
As a captain, obviously, you're going to get more attention, stick and everything, but that comes with the club also. It's not like just by the armband. Because I said to everyone, like, I haven't changed the way I was for the way I'm now because I've got the armband on my arm. Because I think when Eric chose me to be the captain, he knew what type of captain I was before having the armband. So I know I lead by example because I do everything is needed to do on the training pitch. I train as hard as I can. I can moan as much people think, but I run more than I moan. That I'm pretty sure of that. So I think I'm still an example of how the way things have to be done for the club. And then as a captain, I have sometimes to make decisions on things. And then, yes, I'm above certain players. But what I do is, okay, we have a leadership group. There is me, Harry, Licha, Tom, Mazraoui and Diogo. The message has to be clear for everyone else. We have to become a little bit of a bigger personality than the other ones because we need to make the rules clear for everyone.
I can't see anything wrong with what he said. I think what he says is brilliant, and I actually quite like the fact that he is a bit of a moaner and he demands high standards from everybody else. As a Premier League captain, is there anything wrong with that?
I just think Bruno Fernandez is an outstanding player. For me, could be one of the best players the Premier League's had that hasn't won the Premier League. When he retires, you'll look back and say, you know what? Did I waste my prime years at Manchester United? He's 31 now.
You don't waste your career at Manchester United.
When you
They're
win
one of the biggest clubs in the world.
When you win one
on,
EFL
do
Cup
better
and
than
one
that.
FA Cup, you look back and say to yourself, I was a top player, and that's all I won at Manchester United. No Champions Leagues, no Europa Leagues, no Premier Leagues. I think you'll look back and say, what would I won Manchester City? What would I won?
There's a lot of people who've never won the Champions League. Arsenal as a club have never won the Champions League.
Yeah, but I'm saying when he retires, you'll look back and say, did the club bring in the right players to help me?
Did you regret when you retired not winning trophies and not going off to Arsenal or Spurs or somewhere else?
There was a chance for me to go to Arsenal, Spurs, yeah, but my mind.
And you could have not won the Champions League as well.
My mind at that time was Aston Villa. Didn't want to play for anyone else.
Well, maybe that's Bruno Fernandez's sentiment.
Yeah, and he said he has said that, hasn't he? He said Totti. Look at Totti, for instance. You know, at Roma, didn't win that many trophies, but was loyal, loved staying at the club. But I do look and I do speak to ex-players, and ex-players have banter on social media or in person about, oh, what did you win? What did I win? I think Bruno Fernandez, the standard, over 300 games with Manchester United, over 100 goals, 93 assists, to not have won the Premier League, or the Champions League, or the Europa League, or the Conference League, Crookie. But I just feel...
We'd never played in the Conference League.
Maybe you should do. Maybe you should do, because that's a European trophy you can win in
rather
recent
not
years.
play in the Conference League, all right?
But I just think the way he is as a captain, the arms throwing, the petulance, he can do that at Manchester United because he's the best player. Put him in the Man City side, the Liverpool side of recent years.
But maybe he wouldn't be moaning.
He wouldn't
as
be
much,
like that.
because he would have had better players around him and they'd be winning more trophies.
Let's not pretend Roy Keane wasn't a moaner. We've all seen the clip of Cristiano Ronaldo missing a chance.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. You were a moaner as a captain. You got on people's
Bruno
backs, didn't
Fernandez,
you?
I have seen so many times, he's give the ball away and he's moaned at the player that he's meant to pass the ball to and he's at fault. That just sort of character he is. You'll moan at anything.
But sometimes that's just a bit of frustration that's coming out. There's nothing wrong with showing your frustrations on the pitch. You want to see passion. You want to see desire. You want someone to show that they care as much as you do about that team.
I've seen players, and I've been there, where I've threatened players. You throw your arms up at me again and wait till we get into the dressing room. I've seen players do it. That's the one frustration from a football player. Do not throw your arms up at me, because the fans see that and you're making me look bad then. Keep your arms down. We spoke about Garnacho a couple of years ago, throwing his arms up, copying Bruno Fernandez.
Bruno Fernandez maybe has earned the right.
You can say that, but I just think it's disrespectful for your teammates when you constantly throwing your arms up at them, even when he gives the ball away.
So Peter Schmeichel used to do it to the centre half. Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister got in the net week in, week out when it wasn't their fault. But you just accepted that was the character that he was.
03717223344. You can WhatsApp us, you can text us. Lee Harrison says, Bruno sets the example of what a Manchester United player should be. I wish we had 11 Brunos, a legend of the club in its difficult period. Kane, Shearer, Zola, I think, won nothing. All legends for their respective clubs. Gianfranco Zola won the FA Cup at Chelsea and the Cup Winners' Cup. In fact, he scored the winning goal in the Cup Winners' Cup final in 1998 and the League Cup as well. This is TalkSport. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. We're here through till 1 o'clock this afternoon. If you want to talk Bruno Fernandez, you can. We can talk more Aston Villa if you want to as well. It's a big weekend of football and it's all on TalkSport.
26k for 2026 on TalkSport.
And now at TalkSport, we're welcoming the new year by giving away a massive £26,000. What better way to kick off 2026 than with a chance to win some serious cash? All you have to do is just get involved in our competition. 26 grand could be yours. It's our biggest New Year cash giveaway, and you can get your hands on it. 26k for 2026. Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. That's 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate. Or you can call 0343 423 9761. Lines close at 12 p.m. on the 9th of January. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. UK residents only 18 plus. It's a network promotion, and 40s and C's are available at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Good luck. This is TalkSport. Manchester United's CEO Omar Barada and technical director Jason Wilcox are frustrated by the string of high-profile officiating errors that have cost them points this season. Manchester United demanding a crunch meeting with the PGMO chief Howard Webb in the new year. The PGMO has already privately admitted to United that officials made the wrong calls in matches against Brentford, failing to send off Nathan Collins, West Ham failing to give Wan-Bissaka a red card, and against Wolves a missed handball and penalty. They won anyway by 4-1 in that game. They lost at Brentford and they lost when they played West Ham. What do you make of them complaining to the PGMO? I know that you're
they've got some nerve.
Why?
It swings in roundabouts, doesn't it? Last game of the season.
Well, that's quite a few swings.
Morgan Rogers scored a perfectly allowed goal, disallowed. Manchester United go on to win the game.
Was that in the game where Villa were absolutely atrocious?
Doesn't matter about
played
form.
Off the park.
But once that goal was scored,
just lost to Tottenham in a European final.
Aston Villa only needed a draw. Would have went 1-0 up, 20 minutes to go. So it cost. I can't. If Manchester United are complaining, Aston Villa must push them out of the way and say, "Excuse me, let's listen to our complaint first, please."
But that's one decision. Decision which I think
cost
still divides quite a lot of opinion.
Cost £100 million. Lost
if you
players.
accept that it's
Your
definitely wrong.
performance cost you £100 million. You were dreadful that day.
There are bogey
United
team.
look like Real Madrid. As you will again on Sunday, hopefully.
Do you think there's any weight to the argument of having a crunch meeting with the PGMO? I mean, listen, what would be the reason? What would be the benefits of doing so?
What people don't realise, and I speak to a lot of sporting directors, a lot of high-ups at various clubs up and down the Premier League, Howard Webb gets a phone call from pretty much every club every Monday after the weekend discussing various decisions. Sometimes he gets messages from sporting directors during games. So I don't think this is a massive story, to be honest.
I think everybody's of the same opinion, isn't it? If something goes against them, they want to know the reasons why. And once you actually hear some of the reasons why, you can sort of rationalise it. And I think that's probably what will happen. Ryan says, Alex Crook is so delusional, he still thinks Manchester United are the best football team in the world. And then there are 6 laughing emojis.
I said they're one of the biggest clubs in the world. I didn't say they were the best team.
Bruno is excellent, always gives his all. Agree with Sam, he's everything I want in a captain. High demands, deserve more from the United career. Feel sorry for him, to be honest. That's Martin, who's a Manchester United fan. Thank you very much for your text. And Keane, Robson, Schmeichel, they didn't whine. They roused you into life with fear and respect. Bruno is a woe is me whinger, and it weighs heavy on the team.
Oh, said who was that?
It's no name on that text message.
Oh, please send the name.
Did you send it in from your seat?
Yes.
Did you just send a 50p text in and waste half of your show fee?
Yes.
Just to get your point across.
All done. What do you think, though, Sam, about Bruno Fernandez? You think he will regret not winning the big trophies in the Premier League?
I think, listen, everyone wants to win the big trophies, and he will probably regret that Europa League final when they came so very close to winning a European trophy when they lost on penalties to Villarreal. But I think he's a brilliant player, and I think he's loved being at Manchester United, and he loves being adored at Manchester United, which is, for the large part, he has been really. And I think
does he get enough respect from rival fans, Bruno Fernandez?
I rate him highly.
Why do you want to be respected by rival fans? If you're the captain of Manchester United, the fact that you irritate all the rival fans is a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
One thing I think rival fans do hate from Bruno Fernandez is the constant diving. You could literally touch him
Everybody
and he
Is that why-
throws himself
is
in
that
the
why
air.
you used to get a lot of stick as well?
I
from other fans?
was strong and solid, never. No, but he does.
Was it
like to
Uche
throw
who
himself on
dived
the
last
floor.
night?
Oh my word, that was a
Everybody,
terrible
you
dive.
dived.
Everyone dived.
Let's get the
You did
videos of
dive.
Gabby diving.
Yeah, but Fernandez goes down with any touch. and
Tom
he's
Daly learned his best techniques by watching videos of you on YouTube. 03717 2233
They're in black and white
now. Want to get in touch. Yeah, 1984.
That 1-0 win at Old Trafford is, I think.
That was our first Premier League win at Old Trafford, by the way.
Yeah.
When I scored the win. I just got told that. I didn't know that.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Aston Villa play Manchester United on Sunday. It's part of Game Day Live. We're on air from 2 o'clock this Sunday. Join us. Crookie will be at Villa Park. You're listening to...
Don't be nice to him.
I'll be nice and early. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, he'll have a hat on. He'll be hiding in the corner. He didn't want to go. He tried to get out going this week.
Well, I didn't. No.
Tried to get out going.
That's not. I've got a night out in Worcester after the game. haven't
But
I?
you did
So-
try to get out going because you wanted to go.
A rare Christmas night out after the game.
He wanted to come into the studio on Sunday.
interesting.
But he was banned and has to go to
Makes
Villa
sense.
Park. Because
Are you going to be there?
Now that I know you're going early, I'll get there early, Cookie. I'll see you at the gates.
You're not actually going to a game, are you?
Oh, yeah, I am, yeah.
You're there?
I'm going
Wow.
to the game, yeah.
You're doing a bit
Box.
of whining and dining.
He's going to be.
No, mate, I'm not getting paid to go. Don't worry. I'm going to watch as a fan.
Where are you sitting?
Yes.
In a box?
Maybe. Maybe. Sam, is that okay?
Just, down with the people. I know.
The other celebrity Villa fan, Rupert Bell, always makes a point of coming over and
He
having a
does.
chat with the TalkSport boys. You going to do that?
Yeah, but do you want Rupert talking to you? He's so boring, isn't he?
That's harsh. Rupert will be doing commentary for the big races on Boxing Day here on TalkSport.
King George.
TalkSport 2. The King George, yes, indeed.
Harry Redknapp's got a good chance in that.
We'll come back and discuss that, I'm sure, another time. In fact, we might get the latest odds from BetMGM next. This is TalkSport with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you Level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until Level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're Level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a Level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
TalkSport. I'm Matterface. Happy Alex Crook. You are in a good mood today, actually, aren't you?
You know me, it's Christmas. I love Christmas.
Yeah, you are in a very good mood.
Why do I love Christmas?
Yeah.
Why would you not love
I
Christmas,
actually
Gab?
love...
Same old, isn't it, every year?
I love buying presents for the kids, Gab.
It does.
I actually
Fair
do love
enough,
giving
fair
presents.
enough.
You don't like wrapping it, though?
I've wrapped 95 presents on my own.
Have you? I bet they're
He's so proud of himself.
tidy.
And he got the ump yesterday with Mrs. Crook because he asked her to write a couple of cards and she got threw her toys out the pram.
Yeah, exactly. Do something. So she listens. She does a lot behind the scenes.
95 presents, by the way.
Great man.
The referee said, is that one for each kid?
Oh, cheap
very
shot.
good.
That was the ref, not me.
And there's a lot of Christmas parties this time of year as well. I do like a Christmas party.
We know, mate. We know. We've covered.
Yes, you haven't stopped talking about it. Let's get the latest odds, all thanks to BetMGM.
It's showtime on TalkSport with BetMGM. Get ready for the golden era of sports betting. Visit betmgm.co.uk or download the app. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
And I'm delighted to say that we have BetMGM on the show every single week. And Gabby, if you're going to be a part of this show going forward, you'll get used to the fact that almost as an extra member of the team is Dan Towles. Dan Towles works for BetMGM. He is always on with us every single Friday, unless he's on holiday, which seems to happen every other week. So we're joined by Charlie Robertson from BetMGM to look ahead to this week's top sporting events and discuss the latest odds. Hi, Charlie.
Good morning, Charlie.
Sam. Morning, guys.
Yeah.
How are you? All good?
We're all good. Thank you very much. Where is he this week?
I actually think he's following Crookie and buying Christmas presents for the kids, but
is he?
He might be in Marbella for all we know.
That's why he had to take a whole day
You need
off.
to take a day off work to buy Christmas presents. Honestly, that is the poorest excuse I've ever heard. Come on, Dan, you're better than that.
Tomorrow, we've got a bit of a Christmas gift for our listeners because we've got 3 live Premier League games on the network, 2 at 8 o'clock, 1 at 12:30. Let's start with a TalkSport exclusive from St James's Park, Newcastle United against Chelsea. What are the odds?
Yeah, interesting game, isn't it, Sam? I think it's fairly tight. We're struggling to split them. Chelsea, the slight favourites, 29-20. Newcastle, 37-20. And the draw, 5-2. I'd probably lean on a draw actually, but it'd be an interesting game. Guys, I just wanted to come to you on Newcastle. I think they're 12th in the league, which is 6 points off top 4. What is Champions League the target this season? Are they too far away from that? What do you think Eddie Howe's telling his players? Is Champions League still where they should be aiming, or do you think they need to perhaps look at top 6 and then see how they go from there?
I think it'd be difficult for Newcastle to get in the Champions League. Realistically, who they're going to finish above? Arsenal and Manchester City look nailed on. I still think Liverpool, actually, if they get their act together, have got a great opportunity. And then you're looking at probably Chelsea, Aston Villa, maybe Manchester United. I expect Palace to fall away, so I'm not sure that Newcastle will finish above any of those teams. And I think you have to go back to their summer. You know, the Isak situation was a cloud that hung over them. They missed out on a lot of top targets. Hugo Ekitike has been brilliant being one of them. Imagine where Newcastle would be if they managed to pull off that signing. Wissa is only just fit. They've got injuries elsewhere. I think anybody questioning Eddie Howe is bonkers, to be honest.
If you go back to last season, though, Charlie, and you look at their record up until December, it wasn't particularly good. And they put a run of results together after the Christmas period, and they ended up qualifying for the Champions League. I think if they get into the top 6, they've done a very good job. I think the issue they've got is dovetailing a Champions League campaign with the rigours of the Premier League. It's very difficult for a squad that isn't particularly deep, but also that has a lot demanded of them. He's a very demanding coach. He wants them to play at a certain intensity, and that intensity hasn't always been there this season. But they'll give Chelsea a good game tomorrow.
Yeah, I completely agree, Sam. I think, it's really difficult, isn't it? But juggling Champions League and they've obviously got this cup run as well. So there's a lot of football for them to play. And if the squad isn't perhaps as big as others, it is tricky. But yeah, I think they'll give Chelsea a really good game. I completely agree.
Loads of injuries though tomorrow. Lewis Hall's got a hamstring injury. Botman's still out with a back injury. They lost Dan Burn, who's got a broken rib and a punctured lung. Tino Livramento came off in the game that I was at on Wednesday night. Well, I did actually briefly see Dan Towles actually on Wednesday.
Did he have his scarf on?
He had a half and half scarf on, as always. Right, should we move on to golden goals? Because Gabby has got big shoes to fill. Because last week, Neil Warnock sat in this studio and he won £500 for charity.
He did indeed, Sam. Yeah. Just a quick line on what golden goals is for the listeners. It's our free-to-play game. Runs every Premier League game week. No deposit required, and you can win up to 250 grand if you can predict all 6 correct scores across the Premier League games that we pick. And there's prizes for up to 2 correct scores, so plenty of chances to win. And as you mentioned, Sam, if you guys can predict the games we give you each week, we'll put 500 quid in the pot for prostate cancer. And yeah, Neil Warnock 1-1 in the Brentford Leeds game, which means we're up to £1.5 grand. So we're going okay, but yeah, we'd like a bit more over the Christmas period, hopefully. So, Crookie, we'll kick off with you. I'll actually be at this game on Saturday. It's Liverpool who travel to Spurs. How do you see that one going?
Well, I think there'll be goals. This is a game that usually guarantees plenty of goal-mouth action and entertainment. Liverpool in a decent vein of form, quietly actually. They're 6 games unbeaten. I think the Mo Salah situation maybe has had a galvanising effect. They've won both matches since that public spat between him and Arne Slot. And I think Spurs, if they lose this game, that will be a club record, the most home defeats in a single calendar year. So I've gone Liverpool, I've gone Goalfest, I've gone 3-2 to the visitors.
Yeah, literally, as you mentioned, I think it's the most. It's the Premier League fixture with the most Premier League goals, 206, and there's been 21 the last 3. I think it was 6-3 this game last season. So, yeah, given I'm going, it'll probably be 0-0. But I don't think you can really trust either defence to keep a clean sheet. I think Liverpool particularly, I think still the full-back areas are a bit of an area for concern. So, yeah, hopefully in a goal fest. And, yeah, that 3-2 prediction, Crookie, is 14-1, which I think does look at...
Big price for Christmas.
Yeah, agreed. Sam, over to you next. You've got Man City versus West Ham. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, Man City will win. It's the scoreline, really, isn't it? I've gone 3-0. They've won 6 in a row. They're the top scorers in the Premier League, and West Ham United have got one of the worst defences. Only Burnley and Wolverhampton Wanderers have conceded more. It's that time of the year where there's a lot going on, so I'm not going to predict a huge scoreline, but 3-0, I think.
Yeah, it's still not a small prize, 23-4, that 3-0 win, Sam. Yeah, as you mentioned, I think it's 6 wins in a row. And they've scored 3 or more in each of their last 4 Premier League victories. So, yeah, I think 3-0 looks a very solid pick. I think West Ham, as you mentioned, are struggling at the moment. So yeah, you'd think a Man City comfortable win looks a fair bet. Finally, Gabby, we've given you your beloved Aston Villa as they face Man United. How are you seeing that one?
Well, Aston Villa, 9 Premier League wins in a row.
Never beat United at home.
Best form in the Premier League so far. Manchester United.
Never beat United in the Premier League.
Manchester United like to concede goals. 26 goals conceded this season in the Premier League. Very poor. Diallo will be a big miss for them at right wing back. I think he's been fantastic this season. And Mbeumo as well. They will miss his goals and assists. I'm going to go for, because it's always tough against Manchester United, realistic score. Manchester United score first, but Aston Villa come back as they like to do and win 2-1.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Gabby, Villa are probably one of the form sides in Europe, not just in the Premier League, with those 9 wins in a row. They're actually odds against on Sunday, which I think's a pretty good bet, just over even money. I'm not sure Crookie might agree with that one, but 2-1. I think that's a fair shot. 7-1 chance, but I think even money on Aston Villa looks a really nice bet on Sunday.
It's a bit safe, isn't it? A bit safe, Gabs. Come on.
I know,
Crookie,
man.
how'd you see that one going?
I know. What do you think, Crookie? Then?
I've gone draw.
Really?
I've gone draw.
0-0, 1-1, 2-2.
That's not very confident, is it? If you're going draw against your own team, that means you've got no belief that they're going to win it.
They're 1 defeat and 10 for United. We haven't mentioned that.
Well, you've just done it.
26 goals conceded, not great defensively.
No. Yeah. They might have players back. Is Maguire back potentially this weekend?
Cross your fingers. England having a shocker in the Ashes. Charlie, any chance of any... Well, give us a little slim hope of something. I don't know, something to hang on to. It's just been dreadful.
Dreadful's a good description. I think many Brits staying up through the early hours, Sam, are pretty disappointed again. Yeah, another pretty shocking day. They're just 1-10 to win the third test now, the Aussies. England 15-1. I mean, you can maybe hang on to getting a draw out of it if somehow England can bat for a day and a half, but I think they've shown so far there's not much hope of that. And just to make everyone feel a little bit better, actually, a 5-0 Australia win is now the favourite at 13-10 in terms of the correct score. So, we're not expecting the tour to get much better, unfortunately, for Ben Stokes' side. But, all we can do is hope, Sam.
Charlie, Merry Christmas. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Charlie.
You too, guys.
We
Take
appreciate
care.
that. That was all a look at the latest odds. All thanks to BetMGM. Visit betmgm.co.uk or download the app. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
It's showtime on TalkSport with BetMGM. Keep things golden with responsible play at betmgm.co.uk. 18+, gambleaware.org.
It did sound like you were trying to do his voice, didn't it? When he was mimicking you. He did sound like I think it's a bit out of order, actually.
Yeah. I've heard
making him feel welcome.
I've heard what Crookie's like, and used to sometimes can, gang up on other presenters, can't you? So
he gags up on me.
It's nice to experience it.
You know what? The Cookmeister, he loves it. It gives it all the large away from the microphones and then tries to play the innocent as soon as something goes like, anyway, you've just been picking on Gabby. Can you just do your Gabby voice again?
Go on.
I wasn't actually trying to do a Gabby voice, but I always go back to that. What was that advert back in... Probably you were too young.
I doubt it.
Was it for the Halifax? I want to get a garden.
This is TalkSport with Selco Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go. We've still got lots to get into ahead of this weekend's Premier League action. Stick with us. It's TalkSport with Sam Matterface.
Stop getting me in trouble with a missus, please.
She's just texted me and said to me, "You're like an old lady."
I'm just a bit particular. I know what I like and what I don't like.
She's a bit worried about you because you have wild swings of emotion. That's the problem. You know, you're constantly moaning, or you're incredibly cocky and happy, and it's hard for her. Okay,
Isn't that good way of keeping people on their toes? You never quite know where you're at.
Yeah, but you don't want to keep her.
She don't know where she stands, does she?
Yeah,
Sounds like.
You need to look after her.
Consistency, Crookie.
It's hard work for her as it is. She has to look after all of those kids.
I'm not sure why Alan Brazil felt the need to tell the nation I was punching this morning, but that's a separate story.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah, but he did. 03717223344 is the number to call if you want to get in touch.
Or give us some relationship advice. Why not? It's Christmas.
Mikel Arteta has reached 6 years as manager of Arsenal. They take on Everton tomorrow live on TalkSport. Well, will this be the season that Gunners make top spot at Christmas count? Will they be in top spot at Christmas, do you think?
Yes, they will.
To do that.
I think they comfortably beat Everton.
Comfortably?
Yes, I do, mate. Missing out on Ndai, Gay.
Dewsbury Hall, potentially.
Yeah, Dewsbury Hall. Jack Grealish has got an injury as well. He might be a doubt. But maybe Dibbling gets a chance finally to express himself. I want to see what he can do. But I just think this Arsenal team will bounce back. It's not been great the last 6 games. Won 3, lost 1, drawn 2 in the Premier League. Are they having a wobble, do you think, Cookie?
A little bit. Yeah, I mean,
what you actually said was when they beat Wolves, they won't win the title because they've lost their bottle.
Oh, is that what he says?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Again, I'm not sure I said that publicly. I'm not sure I used the word bottle, but okay, I'll take ownership. I thought that was a really poor performance against Wolves, and if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be concerned that they toiled so much against a team rock bottom of the league, probably not going to win a game all season. They didn't beat 10-man Chelsea. Before that, obviously, drew at Sunderland, gave away a late goal. So, I would be concerned because Manchester City seem to be in the groove right now. Yes. Phil Foden is back on top form. Erling Haaland guarantees goals. Rayan Cherki is playing very well. So who do I think will win the league? Manchester City.
You've changed your mind again, haven't you?
I think City will win it, yeah.
Do you know what, though?
I could tell you what you actually said.
Come on, Sam, please.
But it's got a swear word in it. So
take the swear word out. Please.
No, because that's the whole thing. It's just where I said. So this is after the game on Saturday.
I can't believe
I thought the fact that when they needed to go and score, they just did, will make them believe that they can go on and win the title. Okay. And he said, "Nah, their has gone." In my opinion.
Oh,
that's what
he
said.
With A.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what that word is. Shocking language, Alex.
Again, a private conversation has now been aired, but
it wasn't a private conversation. That was in a big group.
Well, it wasn't on national radio, was it?
Well, it is now.
Do you know who needs to step up for me?
Who?
Gyökeres.
Yeah,
needs to
100%
step up.
Agree.
4 goals. Watched him against Wolves. Wolves were poor defensively, and he just lacking that yard of pace. A bit clumsy. He's not holding the ball up. He wasn't making the right movements as you expect of a centre forward. He's got to do a lot more because Marino got found out against Villa. It was easy work for Aston Villa marking Marino as a number 9. That'll work some games, but it's not going to work long term. Gyökeres has to do what he's been brought in to do for Arsenal.
They look better and sharper with Gabriel Jesus on just for the final 10 minutes, and in Brugge in the Champions League game previously as well.
His movement obviously caused the own goal, the second one, which got them all 3 points. So Mikel Arteta has been speaking this morning about the last 6 years and the progress the club has made. And he says it's not just him, it's everyone.
You need a lot of good people, very committed people around you with the same vision, the same work ethic, the same passion. And I'm very lucky because I had throughout that. And then at the end, you need a lot of support. And starting from upstairs with everybody that makes decisions alongside you. But the most important one are the players. I think the players have to buy into what you say and what you do. And I feel very lucky because those players, they give you 100% in the direction that you want every single day.
They take on Everton tomorrow. Tottenham went to Everton and won with 2 set pieces. Is it time to bring back the set piece goals?
Well, when you look at the defensive injuries they've had, obviously it's been a problem in terms of they're not keeping as many clean sheets, but it's been a problem at the other end of the pitch as well. Gabriel, in particular, with the way that he attacks that set pieces. So, Listen, I think Everton do look vulnerable, weirdly, for a David Moyes side from set pieces, so maybe that might be the...
Injuries do happen, though. Every club's having injury problems.
Yeah, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that when they lose their centre-backs, they lose them in both boxes, don't they?
Do you know what? I've been really impressed with the way they've assembled their squad. But I think Ray Parlour and I were having this discussion on breakfast this morning. It is weird that they get so many injuries. They get a lot of injuries.
Yes.
Why do you think
96, is it, since the start of last
training? Can training be a bit too intense at times?
Is it the way they play that's too intense, or is it the training that's too intense? I mean, because when I spoke to Declan Rice the other week, he was saying that they were hardly doing any training. It was literally just 20 minutes here and there.
It could be then. Maybe are they... Listen, it's stat-based now, isn't it? I remember my couple of last seasons at Villa, you had the physio department where they'd come in and say, okay, he's at risk of getting injured. He shouldn't train. So God knows what it's like now, like 10 years down the line. So can you imagine they're on it? They know the load that players have and who shouldn't train, who's likely to get injured. But they've built a squad, Sam. They've built a squad of, okay, Gabriel and Saliba are out. Okay, Hincapie and Mosquera. Okay, Mosquera, you're injured. Timber, who's played there many times. Dutch international, centre-half. Ben White, right back. They've got so many options.
White's going to miss a few weeks as well, though, isn't he? He's got picked up an injury.
Yeah, but they have got so many options. Lewis Skelly can't.
They have. They've got loads of options, but they've also got loads of injuries. I suppose if you're Everton, you're in a more of a difficult position because Dewsbury Hall's one of your better performers, got injured, had to come off last week. Njai's gone to the Africa Cup of Nations. Jack Grealish has got a little bit of an issue. Idrissa Gueye has got an issue as well, and they've got a much smaller squad, and it's difficult for them to cover absences than it is for Arsenal to do so.
And sometimes when you watched Everton this season, they've looked fantastic, but other times they've looked quite easy to score past. Was it Newcastle that found it very easy?
Yeah, Newcastle and Tottenham went up there and scored multiple goals. The Tottenham ones was a little bit different, but the Newcastle one was far too comfortable for them. They 24 points, Everton, this season, which is the best stage, best return at this stage of a season for 5
2 points behind Manchester United, Cookie's team, that are going to finish in the top 4.
I don't think I said they were going to finish the top 4. I said they were a challenger.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And it's top 5, by the way, for a Champions League place this year.
Possibly.
It will be.
Possibly.
It will be with the coalition.
Possibly.
With the coalition in Europe.
Not the coalition, the coefficient.
Coefficient, that's what I meant. We're not back to Nick Clegg.
Coalition's a very different thing. The coalition of the willing.
The coefficient.
We are here until 1 o'clock. This little coalition of Gabby Agbonlahor, Sam Matterface and Alex Crook, and we're through till 1.
TalkSport Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, helping business owners to work better and live better. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
With your headlines at 12:02, I'm Nick Ellaby. Good afternoon. Enzo Moresca's been asked about those reports. He could be Man City manager next season.
It doesn't affect me at all because I know that it's 100% speculation. And in this moment, there is no time for these kind of things.
Delap and Asugo should be back for the Villa game. Chelsea go to Newcastle tomorrow lunchtime. That's live on TalkSport. Tino Livramento won't be back for Newcastle till the new year. We understand Man City have held talks with Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo. Liverpool, Man United and Spurs are also actively pursuing Semenyo this January. Meanwhile, Anna Slot says Liverpool have moved on from the Mo Salah situation. He's at AFCON, allowing Liverpool to focus on the league.
We've moved on after the Leeds interview, and he played against Brighton. And now he's there. So it's fair for that country and for him and also for us to talk for us about Tottenham.
Liverpool go to Spurs tomorrow evening. Now, with England facing another Ashes embarrassment, Darren Gough expects Brendan McCullum to lose his job in January.
This was like Australia's weakest team. You heard everybody say it. Yeah, we could be 3-0 down after 3 tests. I think a lot of them. The only one who survives for me in management would be Ben Stokes.
The Aussies are 356 runs ahead in the third test with 6 second innings wickets remaining. No visiting side has ever chased more than 239 to win at Adelaide. And AJ and Jake Paul are promising to knock each other out. AJ's nearly 2 stone heavier, but Jake Paul says he smells fear. And it's a lose-lose situation for Joshua in Miami tonight. More at TalkSport.com.
TalkSport News.
A teenager charged with murdering 9-year-old Aria Thorpe has been given a provisional trial date and claims a Chinese cyber gang were behind a data breach at the Foreign Office. More with Emma at 5:30.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Sunny spells and scattered showers, those most frequent in the north and west. Driest in the south and east. Windy, average temperatures.
Hello, it's Friday. It's Matterface, Alex Crook, and we've got Gabby Agbonlahor with us today, and we're looking forward to a big weekend of live sport. Crookie is he's in a good mood, but he doesn't.
There you go. I'm having one of my mood swings. The referee, I quote him this morning. It's all football today, lads. We're not doing any other sport, and here we are midday. And it's not a sport, is it? It's a circus we're now going to talk about for the next 10 minutes.
It was a low-key, media-only weigh-in yesterday when Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua came together at the Fontainebleau Hotel before a ceremonial weigh-in later in the day at the Fillmore Miami Beach. Heavyweights don't usually have to make weight, but Joshua was required to come in under 7 stone, 7 pound for this big event, which is happening. I think it's on Netflix, isn't it? Tomorrow night. It's like a huge Netflix production. Why are you not interested in it?
You seriously asking that question?
Oh, yeah, I'm asking. Why?
It's WWF, isn't it? In a different guise.
We call it WWE for the last 30 years, but anyway.
YouTuber against a boxer who was good once and isn't anymore, and he's just in it for a payday. Honestly, I can't get on board with it. It's a farce.
What about your kids?
They've not mentioned it, actually, to be fair. The 2 boys are into their no-mark celebrities off YouTube, but they've not mentioned this fight.
Are you into it?
Not this fight, no, because we know what should happen. Within 2 rounds, Anthony Joshua should knock him clean out, and Jake Paul finally maybe stops boxing. But we don't know what's going to happen.
Well, that won't happen, will it?
That's what I mean. Is Jake Paul going to run around the ring? Is he going to try and
Well, they're going to want to
make it a circus?
They want to get a few rounds out of it, aren't they, to entertain the public, and then Joshua will win when he fancies it.
But AJ has to put in a top performance because otherwise,
why? It doesn't really count, does it?
No, I'm saying if he doesn't knock Jake Paul out, then you can't seriously expect to go and fight Fury next year, can he? So
Well,
he has to put
if he does fight Fury, he's going to get annihilated.
Who will?
Joshua will get annihilated in that fight.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Tyson Fury from his recent fights.
I think he'll get back in shape and he'll win that with ease.
Ooh.
Honestly, last few fights, we watched Anthony Joshua fight many years ago now in Brighton, and I was underwhelmed. We were in Brighton. He was obviously fighting in Brighton, but I was underwhelmed by that. I think he's a manufactured fighter, and this is a manufactured fight.
Well, this is certainly a manufactured fight, but the co-founder of MVP Promotions, Nikisha Badarian, has been speaking to our reporter Gareth A. Davis. He's hoovered up quite a few interviews, actually, ahead of the fight in Miami. Let's start with the co-founder of MVP, who is speaking to Gareth about the upcoming fight.
I'm here with Nikisha Badarian. It's been a big, fulsome week. It's weigh-in morning. So they're all making that weight before the ceremonials later on. What did you make of the press conference yesterday? I thought Jake and Anthony really kind of elevated things on what was a big cast list up there at the Fillmore.
I think the best part of that press conference is when Jake said, boxing should be supporting me to get this win. I am the one he said I've done more than anyone in the past 10 years. Obviously, he hasn't been boxing for 10 years, but we've done a phenomenal job of disrupting the sport, and that's led by him. What you saw on that stage yesterday was because of him. Boxing on Netflix is because of him. The reinvigoration of women's boxing is because of him. There's obviously the team around him, but he is the face of that. So that was the most telling moment of the press conference to me.
Now, your mate Eddie Hearn has been saying in the build-up this is a huge mismatch and maybe shouldn't be happening, but they're happy it is. What's your response?
Look, I think they have to believe it's a mismatch, and on paper, I can understand people believing that. I can also understand Jake Paul, the delusional optimist that he is, who has used his mind and manifestation to get to this point, knowing that he can do what no one else thinks he can.
What did you make of Anthony Joshua's demeanour yesterday in his words, where he actually talked about a loss and said, if I lose, I can still headline? Did that give something away to you that maybe Jake's got into his head a little bit?
Garrett, I tell you, on the drive here with my team, I said exactly that. I said it was so interesting to me because you saw different shades of AJ throughout that press conference. Times there was extreme confidence. Times there was a bit aloof. Times there was saying, if I lose, no problem. I come back a year later, I'll headline again. Then he was trying to grab Jake's necklace. So it was really a up and down demeanor from him that was, psychoanalysis-wise, interesting to see.
You guys are winners already, as you just said at the beginning of this interview, that you've transformed but all of you working together, transformed women's boxing as well at the moment and the way things are being done. What's a victory for Jake? Is a win over AJ the only victory, or is it going 8 rounds of victory, or is knocking AJ down but not beating him of it? What's a victory for him?
We already won. We're already victorious. We were in this business for 4 years, and we're standing here with you and all of this media with no backing, no funding. It's Jake and I. I always make this example. The UFC is phenomenal, but you had Lorenzo Fertitta and Frank Fertitta, multi-billionaires, backing that operation to get where it got to. Jake and I have done this on our own. We won. It's over.
Who's done more for boxing in the last 5 years? Anthony Joshua or Jake Paul?
Unequivocally, Jake Paul has done more for boxing than Anthony Joshua. That is not in question. The only person who's made an impact like Jake Paul on the sport of boxing over the past 5 years is Turki Al-Sheikh. All of these promoters, Eddie included, have to be thankful to Jake Paul and Turki Al-Sheikh for providing these massive opportunities.
So, despite the fact that you dismissed it quite offhandedly, this is the assumption from someone who's very established in the game, that Jake Paul has done more than anybody, maybe with the exception of Turki Al-Sheikh, to promote boxing around the world in the last 5 years.
Well, it depends what you mean by promote it. Obviously, he's helped take it to a younger audience, as you just mentioned, because, like it or not, YouTubers like Jake Paul do have a following, and I would argue, what has Anthony Joshua done in the last few years for boxing? So I understand his argument on that point. I'm not a big enough boxing aficionado to know if Jake Paul has been the saviour. Again, it depends what side of the coin you come down on. If you like these circus fights, or if you want proper good old fashioned heavyweight clashes.
I suppose it depends on what numbers they do tonight, right?
Yeah.
If they do
numbers, they will do.
If they do huge numbers, then they are promoting the world of boxing. Whether or not it's the boxing that we want to see, it's not exactly in the purest form. But then I suppose the question is why has boxing got itself into a situation where it relies on YouTubers who are not properly trained boxers. Okay, he's been training for ages and he's obviously had a lot of coaching now, but hasn't been an established boxer in the past, coming in and having these unsanctioned fights in order to be able to get the attention of the younger viewers. What's going wrong with the boxing approach?
I just think like he has got a massive following. You know, the younger generation love the likes of Jake Paul, the KSIs, these YouTubers. So it's 100% going to get massive numbers. The proper boxing fans can't stand Jake Paul and they're dying for him to get knocked out. If you speak to any boxer or any ex-boxer, they probably will watch it, but they're dying. I won't watch it. I can't stay up past 11 p.m, mate. Never mind 5 in the morning.
Yeah, but you had to watch it on a rerun.
I can vouch for that, actually, from Qatar and from Germany and Europe.
I'll go to bed early. I'm an old man. But don't be surprised if Jake Paul gets through the fight without being knocked out. Don't be surprised if, in the future, a Tyson Fury fights Jake Paul. It will keep happening because it's a way of making big money with big numbers.
Well, as I said, if it does big numbers, then it will continue because people will see the value in it. Let's hear from Lennox Lewis, the former world champion. He's been speaking to Gareth A. Davis about how Anthony Joshua should approach this fight.
I was punching the bag the other day, and I'm like, I lost, I don't have.
That was Lennox Lewis speaking to Adam Catterall and Gareth A. Davis, although it wasn't the clip that we were hoping for. Look, I suppose you have to sort of work out what you define as a win for Joshua. What constitutes a victory for him?
The only problem sometimes is these sort of fights. I remember watching Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather a couple of years ago, maybe, and Logan Paul literally ran around the ring and literally grabbed Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, Jake Paul's not going to be able to do that, but don't be surprised if for 2 or 3 rounds he's running.
Is he guilty of starting all this, Floyd Mayweather? Is he guilty of starting all this because of the fight that he had with Conor McGregor?
100%. And it's a way of making big money, big numbers, like you say. It's because, like it or not, and a lot of the boxers don't like it, and a lot of the ex-boxers don't like it, but Jake Paul and these YouTubers have got a big following. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason why Anthony Joshua's taken the fight. One, it's reported £50 to £70 million to go and fight someone like Jake Paul. I mean, why wouldn't you? Anthony Joshua's probably thinking, one good shot on his chin, night. Thank you for the 70 mil. Thank you for the profile building in America as well. All right, then, Tyson Fury, let's see you 2026.
We'll see what happens. That fight is tonight and overnight, and I'm sure there'll be reflections on that. And Gareth A. Davis and Adam Catterall are there, and they will discuss it.
Are you and AJ okay, though, Cookie? Because you seem to
hold on,
throw digs at him.
Just throw me coffee around the studio. Listen, I'm not going to throw any physical digs at him, that's for sure. But
you're not having him.
He hasn't got any upper body strength.
I've just been underwhelmed the last few times that I've watched him fight, and I think it's a little bit sad that he's come to just taking on a YouTuber for a payday.
Ooh, that's all. Okay.
You better text him and tell him not to come in next week then.
Yeah, I was trying to get him on in January. I'll tell him not to come on now. Good friend of mine, Anthony.
Let me tell you this. If he did come on, Crook would be all over him.
You're a great fighter. You're the best heavyweight you've ever had.
Pictures everywhere. Phone number within about 3 seconds.
Big fan of your work.
Can you get me tickets to your next fight? All that kind of stuff. That would happen within 3 minutes of him being there. I once introduced him to someone, no joke, right? A celebrity.
Okay.
Within 2 minutes, he had got him to record a video on his phone for his daughter, given him his number, and asked him for tickets to a gig. Seriously. It literally within 3 minutes.
So you got to keep all your celebrity mates away from him now.
Listen, we're a couple. We share.
It was a good gig.
This is too. Was it a good gig? It was. Actually, that's not what you said last night.
Oh.
You said the support act was better. This is TalkSport. You're listening to Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deal at selcobw.com.
26k for 2026 on TalkSport.
At TalkSport, you're welcoming the new year by giving away a massive £26,000. What better way to kick off 2026 than with a chance to win some serious cash? Yes, £26,000 could be yours. It's our biggest New Year cash giveaway, and it could be yours. £26,000. All you have to do is text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate. You can call 0343 423 9761 as well. Lines close at 12 o'clock on the 9th of January 2026. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. UK residents only, 18 plus. It's a network promotion, and terms and conditions are available at talksport.com/win. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Good luck. Well, it's a game that guarantees goals tomorrow, 5:30, Tottenham against Liverpool. It was 6-3, wasn't it, last season when these two met at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 5-1 up at Anfield. That is an amazing 15 goals in the last two games. They found the net in the last 25 of their last 26 Premier League games against Spurs, Liverpool, including the last 19 in a row. It's the top scoring fixture in Premier League history, but who comes out on top tomorrow? Tottenham struggles at home, come into sharp focus again if they're to lose.
Yeah, because as I mentioned when we're doing the betting, I think it'd be a record for Spurs in terms of the most league defeats in a single calendar year. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure, certainly from the Tottenham fans, when it comes to Thomas Frank. I think the board are determined to give him some time to get it right. They're 11th at the moment in the bottom half of the table, Spurs, and I think they're facing Liverpool at the wrong time. I mentioned that I think it's galvanised the dressing room, the Mo Salah situation. Obviously, it's forced a tactical tweak from Arne Slot as well with his midfield diamond. I still think Liverpool stand every chance of getting in the top four. They're only 2 points behind Chelsea at the moment, despite the fact they've lost so many games already. And I think they're going to go there and win in what should be a high-scoring encounter.
The whole focus of the last couple of weeks has been about Mo Salah, but Arne Slot has been talking this morning. Again, the subject came up, but he says they're moving on.
Actions speak louder than words, and we moved on. He was in the squad, and it was the first substitution I made. But now he's at the AFCON, playing big games for himself, but also for the country. So I think it's fair to them, but definitely also for us, because we are going to play some very important games. That all the focus is for him over there. And there should not be any distraction of me saying anything about his time here at Liverpool, because what I said, we've moved on after the Leeds interview, and he played against Brighton, and now he's there. So it's fair for that country and for him, and also for us, to talk for us about Tottenham and other games, and for them to be fully focused on their tournament.
Is he doing the right thing by moving on? Does it still cause a distraction, or is he suggesting there that actually does it help that he's gone to the AFCON
Yeah.
and he's out of the picture.
I think it helps because we'd all be looking now and saying, is Mo Salah going to start this weekend? If he doesn't start, he's not going to be happy. It's going to kick off again. Now it's a break for just over a month. Now, can players like Isak be in the firing line? Okay, like the play he was at Newcastle, you're half the player now at Liverpool. You need to raise your game, 130 million. And the performances he's been putting in doesn't look like he's working hard. Doesn't look like he can get past the player. Wirtz, how are we going to look at Wirtz and Isak and say, come on, guys, it's time to step up now.
But why is it about putting them in the firing line, and why is it not more about actually giving them the room to flourish now? Could this not be the opportunity for them, with Salah out of the way, for him to play the formation that he wants and get those players not in the firing line, but fit and firing?
Well, that's what we hope, but I don't think it's the fact that Mo Salah played that stopped Wirtz from performing, stopped Isak from performing. I think that's unfair on Mo Salah. Yes, Szoboszlai might start on that right-hand side again, give Wirtz a chance to play down number 10, but they've got to start performing. The amount of money Liverpool have spent on them. I mean, if you're Newcastle fans now, you're having a good little giggle, aren't you, Cookie? Like, yep, look at Isak, bit of karma there, how you treated Newcastle Football Club.
Mo Salah's scored a lot of goals against Spurs in his career, so he will be a big miss, but they look like they've got weapons all over the pitch. Spurs themselves, they've been having a long bad run in the Premier League. They've won only one of the last 7 Premier League matches, but going back further, they've lost 23 of the last 41 Premier League matches. That's going back to December the 5th last year. So it shows you that this malaise is not something that's happened this year. In fact, you know, the fact that they're 11th at the moment and only 4 points off the top 5 sort of masks the fact that actually over the course of the last 12 months, it's been a very, very difficult time to be a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. So that suggests, those statistics suggest that actually the malaise is a lot deeper than just who is the head coach.
Absolutely. And that's why I think Thomas Frank deserves more time to turn it around. I think he's proved himself with what he did at Brentford in the Premier League. And I think the issues there come down to recruitment. Not that necessarily they've not spent money, because when I was in with Simon Jordan on Tuesday, he pointed out they spent £200 million in the summer. But who did they sign that they were really having to fend off interest from other clubs for? Maybe Xavi Simons, who was linked with Chelsea at one stage, but they didn't pursue that actively in the end. You look at the players they brought in at the top end of the pitch. I wasn't convinced by Matthias Tell last season. I'm not sure why they signed him permanently.
None of the players that
Kolo Muani looked a good player once,
Chelsea
but
and Man United and Arsenal for, are they?
No, but I look at Thomas Frank and he's probably looking at it and saying, guys, I mean, Simmons, 1 goal in the Premier League. Richarlison's the only one that stood up, really, 6 goals.
Yeah, but he's not playing particularly well.
No, Muani's 0 goals.
Yes, but
Kudus, 2 goals. Tal, 2 goals. Brennan Johnson, 2 goals. Odebear, 0 goals. I mean,
the Brennan Johnson thing's an odd one because it looks like they're going to let him go in January. There's interest from Palace and maybe from Bournemouth as well. Tottenham fans have never really taken him to their heart, but he effectively scored the winning goal in the Europa League final. It was probably an own goal from Luke Shaw, but he was their top scorer last season.
Top scorer, yeah.
A lot of Spurs fans want him out. I'm not sure when you're struggling for results, he's a player you can just dispense with.
He also actually has not been used properly by Thomas Frank this season. For whatever reason, he's not included him. Maybe because Kudus wants to play on that right-hand side, and that meant that he had to come play on the left, and maybe that didn't work for him as much as it did when he was coming in late. But he doesn't really do that much in games apart from last season, turning up at the back post and putting the ball in the back of the net.
It's quite a good skill to have, though, isn't it, to score goals? Well, Gabby made a career out of it.
It is bearing
one season.
It is bearing in mind that actually they haven't got that many goals, as you've already pointed out.
Yes.
You mentioned Randall Kolo Muani.
Yes.
But he, to me, has looked like the biggest threat that they've got. He carries the ball well. He works hard. Yes. He looks as if he's given it an opportunity to get fit and firing in this team.
100%.
He could possibly be the one that they can hang their hat
Even
on.
Richarlison, like you says, he scored 6 goals, but he's been so poor all season. You know, scored a couple of screamers.
To quote you, he's
exactly.
miles off it when he's off.
And I'll talk about Fernandez going down easily. This guy makes me walk out my living room at the TV, the way he goes down and moans. Even his players have started to carry on when he goes down because they're fed up with him. But I just look at all these players. They need to step up. Muani looked very good in the Champions League game. Was it against PSG?
He did, yeah.
And scored in that game.
Style over substance.
Yeah, Kudus needs to get the numbers. Simmons, you do a great performance against Burnley, then you're back to your usual sloppiness against Burnley, sorry. So, Nottingham Forest, where he was poor as well. These players have got to step up. No Maddison. the rest of this season. We don't know when Kulusevski's back. We don't know when Solanke's back. But those three players walk into this Spurs side at the moment.
They suffered injuries, but I suppose the biggest issue is that Tottenham signed players to sort of compete with the ones that are injured. So Maddison, Kulusevski, Solanke, they signed players to compete with those players. And the ones that they've brought in are not really showing that they would dislodge them if they were fit. Everyone now is saying we can't wait for them to get back.
And they're not really at the top table in terms of negotiations, because as soon as Arsenal showed interest in Eberechi Eze, there was only one club for him. We talked about Semenyo at the top of the show. The club's in for him. Tottenham are very much bottom of his wish list. So
I was surprised at Tell. Last season, he showed nothing on him.
No, I agree.
And you go and spend...
That must have been a deal.
Yeah, you must have spent that big money on him. And I was at the Villa game, Spurs at home against Villa, and the atmosphere was poor. The fans had nothing from the players.
Well,
players playing.
I don't blame the Tottenham fans because I think they've gone through it for the last God knows how long, and they're fed up of not seeing their team win at home. And I don't blame them.
Who are the best options in midfield? Paulinho? Is it Bentancur? Is it Bergvall? Is it Sarr? Is it Gray? He doesn't know his best free centre midfield.
That is a bit of an issue at the moment. 03717223344. If you want to WhatsApp us on that, we would love to hear from you. If you're going to say miles off it and quote Gabby, you have to do the voice.
I can't do a Gabby voice.
Miles off it.
Miles off it.
That's perfect, Cookie. Well done. Welcome to Villa Park any day.
Well, he'll be there on Sunday when Game Day Live comes from Villa Park from 2 o'clock.
Man United the miles off it today.
Oh, I can hear it now. This is TalkSport with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
Chelsea's Enzo Moresca insists rumours linking him to Man City is 100% speculation.
I have a contract here until 2029, probably. And my focus, I said many times, that is just about this club, and I'm very proud to be here.
Lavia and Colwill are still out for Chelsea. Delap and Asugo should be back for the Villa game. Chelsea go to Newcastle tomorrow lunchtime live on TalkSport, while Tino Livramento won't be back for Newcastle till the new year. Now, Arne Slot says Liverpool have moved on from the Salah situation. He says it's fair to Egypt that Salah's focus is on AFCON and fair to Liverpool that they can focus on Spurs. To the Ashes, where England are facing a near impossible run chase to save the series. Darren Goff's torn the Bazballers a new one for the lack of preparation.
They didn't have nets actually at Perth. They played at Liverpool. We talked about this in the build-up. The way they've gone about their interviews has been wrong. Criticising older players like Beefy and Gucci. It's not a great start to a series.
There's more on TalkSport's Cricket YouTube channel. And the Ali Pali Wasp is really becoming a good luck charm. David Munya tried to play with it in his pocket. He says he doesn't know how it escaped, as the Kenyan stunned Mike Dedeker. This afternoon's session is on TalkSport 2.
Monday Night Football this week comes from Craven Cottage. It's Fulham against Nottingham Forest, and we've been talking to Elliot Anderson. I say we, Crookie has been talking to Elliot Anderson this week about lots of different issues regarding Nottingham Forest, the new manager, Sean Dyche. And after an inconsistent start to the season, he started by asking him about the upturn in fortune for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it has. It's been up and down at times. Probably not the way we've wanted it to be, but I think recently we've sort of hit a little bit of form and picked up some good results. So yeah, hopefully we can carry that on.
How have you found balancing playing in Europe and what you want to achieve domestically? Because it's often said it can be a real grind playing on a Thursday night and then on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, definitely it's tough for the players and things. 3 games a week really, and putting out output of 90 minutes and things is tough for everyone. But I think that's why we sort of signed a lot of players this summer, and we've got a really good squad of players. So yeah, I think the manager and the coaches have managed it well in terms of people's loads and stuff. So I think we're dealing with it quite well.
They're special nights, aren't they? Those at home, particularly under the lights, given this club's incredible European history.
Yeah, very special. Obviously, the lads told me obviously what it would be like playing in Europe at home and stuff. And yeah, it was 100% what they were saying. Is the fans are very good, and the atmosphere was incredible. So, no, yeah, I look forward to every European game at the City Ground.
And how far do you think you can go in that competition? You're just outside the top 8 at the moment with a couple of games to go. Do you think Forest can be one of the contenders to win the whole thing?
Yeah, of course. I think we've got a great team, and yeah, there's a few good teams in that tournament, but I don't see why not. We can go all the way, and if we perform the way we would like to, we should be right amongst it. Yeah.
Talk to me about Sean Dyche and what he's done to stabilise the club since coming in. How do you find him as a manager? Quite an old school type, but obviously is having a positive impact.
Oh yeah, he's good. Sort of, he's brought that stability back within the group, and defending well and being hard to beat. And I think the quality of our players, he knows. I think everyone knows we've got some great players in the team, and sort of lets us go on to play how we want in possession and stuff, and but make sure that we're defending well and fit and working hard.
And for you personally, it's been an unbelievable 6 months from winning the European under-21 championships, playing every minute of every Premier League game this season, and obviously forcing your way into the senior England squad as well. Can you believe quite how well it's gone for you?
No, it's went very well, and it's been very quick too. But I think I've just got to take everything as it comes and try and deal with it and take it into my stride. But no, I'm really enjoying my football at the minute, and it's going just how I would like.
Can I ask you about Fulham coming up? Obviously, they had a disappointing result in the cup last night, but a pretty strong home record. Not too many teams go to Craven Cottage and win, so this is a tough game.
Yeah, definitely. They're a good side, and yeah, it's obviously even tougher when you're away from home. But no, look, we're doing some work on them this week in training, and I think we're confident to go there and hopefully grab a win.
How do you cope with the festive period? What's it like as a player? Because obviously you've got family as well that are all looking ahead to Christmas Day. But for you, it's your most hectic time of the season. How do you manage it?
Yeah, we can never switch off. Football doesn't stop at Christmas, so yeah, it's tough. But it's just it's all we know really. So obviously, I think we're used to it now, and yeah, it's good. To be honest, playing football around Christmas, I enjoy it.
Could this be where Forest's squad depth comes in? Because obviously you've got a lot of senior players and you're going to need them all over this period.
Yeah, we do. I think that's obviously down to the signings we've made in the summer. We made
some really good signings, and we've got a good group of players here. So yeah, I think we're getting a few injuries back, obviously towards the new year and stuff. So we've got a very good group to attack all the games.
That was Elliot Anderson speaking to Alex Crook. How good is he, Gabby?
Top midfielder. Can do everything. Get you the ball back. He's got legs. He's got passing range. He can finish as well. He can create goals. All-round midfielder, and I'm sure he will force himself into the starting team for the World Cup. He will hope.
He's made a massive difference to England, hasn't he, in terms of the way they play? Obviously, the test that they will get in the World Cup will give us more of an indication as to whether or not he can do it against the very, very best. But he is playing against high-level opposition in the Premier League. Is that the best way for him to prepare for those big England fixtures?
I think it is, but I do look at Elliot Anderson and what we've seen with Thomas Tuchel. Should he be playing at a higher level? I think he should. I look at Nottingham Forest and I feel, would he be playing for Nottingham Forest in the next 18 months? I'm not sure.
Why not?
I just feel like where Forest are, I look at him and I'm saying to myself, you could be starting for England in the World Cup.
They could be playing Champions League football next year if they win the Europa League.
But there's another team from England in Europa League that are going to win it. Sam, you know very well who that is. No, but I look at the games that we're going to have in the World Cup. When you're playing the tough teams, the Frances, the Brazils, the Argentinas, the Spains, you're going to want Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson in there together. Maybe the easier games, you can take Anderson out. You can put more Jude Bellingham and Morgan Rodgers or Foden together in there. But I just think what he's shown so far in England's shirt shows to me that deep down, he'll want to be playing at the top. He'll want to be playing Champions League football. He'll want to be trying to win trophies as well.
Did he give you the impression that is his ambition, that he wants to be playing in the Champions League?
Well, these sessions are quite restrictive, so if you sort of stray into that territory, then you're likely to get the interview stopped because you're basically making reference to his future. But obviously, I think long term he's going to want to play at that level. Can he get there with Forest? Probably not. But you look at the calibre of clubs who are looking for that kind of player. Manchester United is the obvious one, although he's not the only name on their list. I think if he keeps doing as well as he is this season and he has a decent World Cup with England, then I think the world really is his oyster. And again, we were talking about Newcastle earlier and their problems. You have to remember, this is a player that Eddie Howe ideally didn't want to sell. He had to balance the books.
Well,
imagine if they had Elliot Anderson available.
Well, that's happened too often. He had to sell Minte. He didn't want to really do that. He had to sell Anderson. That again, this is the flaw in the PSR system, which we've mentioned before, which they are thankfully going to alter, hopefully. That game, Fulham against Nottingham Forest, is live on TalkSport this Monday night Themselves, actually, Fulham got a bit of an issue because 3 players have gone off to AFCON. They missed them on Wednesday night against Newcastle, which was Chukwueze Iwobi and Calvin Bassey. That game against Forest is live on TalkSport Monday Night Football. Make sure you join us for that, 7 o'clock. Our kickoff is at 8. This is TalkSport. It's Sam Matterface with Alex Crook and with Gabby Agbonlahor. We're here till 1 o'clock this afternoon ahead of H&J. Friday. It's Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deal at selcobw.com. And I've got some good news and bad news, right? Okay, good news is this. It is Christmas, so we've got Christmas presents here. You put your phone down for 1 minute.
Sorry, I was just talking to my lad, actually.
Oh, well, great. You are working. That's not like an excuse. We've got Christmas presents from Joe the ref.
We have.
Right.
Yours is bigger than mine.
Yeah, thanks very much.
He's a bad ref, though. Do you know that?
Why is he a bad ref?
The TalkSport.
Oh, yeah, he was.
6-a-side games. Remember? I was quite angry. He booked me.
We won. obviously.
Yeah, we won.
We won.
But he booked me and he found it funny, but I was not laughing.
You got booked for dissent, which was, probably outrageous.
Didn't we?
He also didn't give a handball.
Who did we have the previous year? Was it Dermot Gallagher?
We had Dermot Gallagher.
And he got the score wrong.
Are you surprised?
He forgot the laws as well. He actually came over to me and started talking to me about it. He goes, I forgot that you couldn't do that. I was like, what?
Well, I'm not sure the ref knows the laws, does he?
Well, and he also dressed like a baseball ref. Do you remember that? He had those black and white stripes on.
He did.
Like he was some sort of American ref.
Gladiators ready.
Yeah, he looked like he'd just been walked out of Foot Locker. Anyway, right, so the ref has bought us presents. Now, the good news is that this is not a Christmas show in a sense, because me and Crook are doing the whole of Christmas here, right? Okay, so...
Me too.
Sorry, listeners. Me and Crook are here for 2 weeks.
I'm not with you until after Christmas now. I've been biffed off.
You've been biffed off?
Yeah, Lord Jordan's decided he's going to turn up for work after all.
It is his show, so he can do what he wants. But you and I are going to be together quite a lot over Christmas. Let's just put it that way.
Can't wait.
I'll give you a present later on, I think. I've got a good one for you.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Have you?
Don't say you. What is wrong with you lot behind the glass?
That means I'm going to have to think outside the box for you this year.
You should hear what's going on in my ear right now. Anyway, so could you open your presents, please, from the ref?
Well, I'll open the card.
The issue.
He's thanked me for turning up nearly every week.
All right, that was good. Right, okay. I've got.
The card's not great.
Well, how did you even get a present? You've only been here once.
Yeah, but still, he knows.
If it's Watford related, he bought it for Troy. And
yeah. Did you play for Watford, though, on loan?
You did? Yeah, you did. How did you not know that? Watford and Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh!
Got a pair of Aston Villa socks.
Oh.
That's good. You can wear those to the game tomorrow. What have you got, Crook?
Don't know.
It says 7 to 11.
Is it some salt? Please tell me you got him some salt.
Look at those! Do you know what? I was looking at these on the internet the other day. He's got me some coasters, look.
Oh, yeah, but they're not just any
King
coasters.
Eric.
They're Manchester United
Scholes,
themed
there's a
coasters.
Rooney Pale Ale, York and Cole. Do you know what, ref? I'm quite touched.
See, look at that. Well, whereas he said to me as he passed over the present just literally 2 minutes ago, do you know what he said to me?
Fergie time.
What?
He said to me, I should have thought about this, but it has occurred to me, but this present could be quite offensive.
I'm very happy with mine, though, guys.
Me
you
too.
know what?
Why are you happy with your... Why did you put them
Aston
on?
Villa socks, right?
Yeah.
Age 7 to 11. No, but I've got...
Shoe size 7 to 11, not age 7 to 11.
Sure.
Yeah, no, there's no clothes in the world that are labelled up age 7 to 11.
Okay, size 7 to 11.
Joe's the ref. Joe, this was supposed to be. This was supposed to be the reimagining of Gabby Agbonlahor. We're getting rid of this narrative. He's just lived back into it.
I was only saying that because I've got a 10-year-old boy.
Brilliant.
And I was thinking I could give him them for Christmas.
And a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old, by any chance? Go for the range.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So anyway, let's move on.
What size are you, son? Are you a size 7?
Right, so mine is offensive, apparently. Right, it's got Joe's address on it, so that's good if I need to stalk him.
Well, don't show that to the camera.
Person or something.
All those players he's booked will turn up at his house.
Right, hold on, there's a lot of cardboard here, Joe.
Is it
a... Joe!
Oh, what is it?
I think he's supposed to be me. It is a little small person.
What a good guess from me.
It's a Chelsea gnome.
Yeah.
With a, actually, it's got a commentary mic, so you've actually really thought about that. You have, haven't you?
I love that.
Yeah.
I actually think that's really cute.
The fact it is life size as well.
Brilliant. Twins there. Thank you, though.
Do you know what? I absolutely love these lent into all of our narratives.
He has.
Me being small, you being a beer drinker, and Gabby just being Gabby. You have to take those two socks apart, Gabby, and put them on each foot.
Oh, okay.
And they should be marked left to right.
Size 7 to 11.
Why don't you put on there
How
L
can you have
and R?
size 7 to 11?
It's not. It's feet size 7 to 11, like shoe size. What shoe size are you?
I'm 10.5.
Well, there you go. Perfect.
So these will fit. A size 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Well, because they're only very small increments, aren't they?
No, behave yourself. They won't fit me.
Crikey. That was actually painful, to be honest with you. I thought that was going to be like quite a nice, happy segment.
Anyway, see you next week.
But it's absolutely killed Gabby's credibility.
I'm size 10.5, please.
Well, they'll fit. They're size 11.
Why are you not? They're size 7 to 11.
Put one on.
No, mate. No.
Oh, he's not happy, Joe. He's not.
I'm going to take these back and get size 10.5 in socks, please, mate. Aston Villa shop. I'll be there later on.
I dare you. I dare you.
Can you do tomorrow cookie for me? I know it's the game.
Right, we've got a few minutes to go. So let me ask you a couple of questions about the weekend's football. Okay. The live games on TalkSport this week: Newcastle against Chelsea.
Yes.
Crystal Palace are going to Leeds. Arsenal going to Everton, and Fulham Nottingham Forest. 4 games this week, so a big old bonus. So your predictions, please. Who's going to come away with the Christmas gifts?
Okay, so first game was Newcastle-Chelsea. I think Newcastle beat Chelsea. They really need a result for Eddie Howe.
Great at home.
And, doing very well at home. And Chelsea, you don't know what Chelsea are going to turn up. Are Chelsea going to turn up? The Chelsea played against Leeds, or the Chelsea that got a draw with 10 men against Arsenal. So Newcastle win.
Crookie?
I've got Newcastle win, but they've got a lot of injuries, haven't they? There's talk of Lewis Miley playing right back, I think. So
as he did on Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's
did well actually Wednesday night.
So it'd be nice if Alanga turned up. Zero
we were talking about this last weekend.
0 assists.
1 assist.
Premier League.
I think it's 1 assist.
I don't think he has it in the Premier League though. 0 and £55 million signing. He's got to step up and do a lot more.
Again, this just shows you the sort of revisionism that goes on in football, because when he was doing so well at Nottingham Forest, there were a lot of people who couldn't wait to hammer Manchester United for getting rid of him.
Letting him go.
Oh, we just turned a Newcastle-Chelsea preview into a Manchester United element again.
I know, mate. You're worse than Goldstein, you are. Honestly.
Chelsea have won 14 points away from home this season, which is the second best away form in the league.
Recent away form's not great, though, is it?
But actually, the recent form's not very good at all. Yes. Even the game against Cardiff in midweek, Monday, the first half of that was difficult.
He
for
was
Chelsea.
raging at half time. If you're talking about private messages,
I was raging.
Who can play at that game?
Yeah, you can read them out. I don't care. I'll own it. I won't pretend that I didn't say it, and it doesn't count because it wasn't public. And they weren't very good against Everton in spells of that game as well. And they've obviously went 3 games without a win before that. I think at Newcastle, the atmosphere is so intense that I think if Chelsea come out with a draw, I think they'll be happy with that.
Well, and the only teams to win at Newcastle this season, Barcelona, Liverpool and Arsenal.
And Liverpool, yeah. And they were in all of those games, Newcastle United as well.
Yes.
Talk to me about Leeds and Crystal Palace. Your favourite team, Leeds, are they going to...
I think Leeds get the result. I think they will bully Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace injury problems. I look at Calvert-Lewin in great form as well. And this is a game, if you're Leeds, you're saying this is a great time to play Crystal Palace, a must-win for Leeds United. 2-1 Leeds, I'll go.
Okay, and lastly, Crook, they've won their last 3. They haven't won any of their last 3 Premier League away games. Can Arsenal win away at the Hill Dickinson?
I think with the injuries that Everton have got, yes. I would expect Arsenal to bounce back to winning ways and cement that Christmas #1 spot.
Oh, good stuff. All right, that's it from us. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll be back on Tuesday, I think.
Monday, isn't it?
Is it Monday? Am I doing Monday, Joe?
About Monday,
no.
Tuesday?
Jim's here Monday. I'm doing Tuesday and Wednesday.
Well, make sure you double check, because I don't always tell you if the schedule changes.
Here he is. He's got the and we better tell everybody what you're talking about. You got the because you thought you were coming in Tuesday and you're not now.
I'm delighted I'm not, because it means I can spend a bit more family time, but it's just been nice to be told.
7 to 11. These aren't fitting me. Oh, why? Sorry.
H&J next.